Oh no,
Hello and welcome everyone to Upon the Hexhamshire Moors. We're live today here on Twitch with special edition Margarita Lindy, and we're gonna go around and we're gonna say who we are and who we're playing, and unless Trooper wants to do that, then I'll give it to Trooper. Alright, I'll do it then. Hi, I'm Lindy. I'm playing Lady Violet Brestleton, who is not single lady anymore. She's like super married and super happy about it. Also, her dad just died, and someone's broken into her dad's office. She's a little stressed out and sad. She's like sad girl power hour today, but
didn't your dad die of natural causes?
Maybe not. Dun dun dun.
Oh, weird.
Weird. Yeah, it's a little weird. So we're gonna, speaking of a little weird, oh no, who do I segue to with that? Becky is the most forgiving Nuggetosaurus. How are you?
A little bit of weird is an apt description. More like a lot of weird. Yeah, I'm Nuggetosaurus. I'm playing Lady Harriet Altringham.
Mm-hmm.
She is married now. No longer a spinster.
Although it was close.
Very close. Very close. Has a lot of questions right now about her best friend and the possibility of her possibly being a murderer, as well as a strange new person who's in town could possibly be a murderer. And there could be a lot of murderers in our little, town. It'll be fun. Hopefully.
Well, I mean, you have strangers, and whenever there are strangers in a small town, you know that one of them's a murderer.
Oh, and speaking of murderers in our midst, Simon, how are you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I will preface this by saying that I am not a murderer, and neither is my character. I have done nothing wrong in my life, and neither has my character. But I am Simon, also known as Wandering DM, and I'm playing tonight a being known only as Captain John Williams James. And he's American, and he just landed in England and attended the funeral of Violet's father, and who everyone believes I have murdered. So tonight I either lose my character, or we discover who the real murderer is.
I mean, not everyone thinks that you murdered him. It's just that, because there's more than one suspect.
Yeah.
That's
and
true.
Some of us
but
haven't met you yet.
I know. So far, everyone I've met think I've killed him. Which is a problem.
Well, I don't know if that's fair, because I mean, Violet's best friend, Hattie, thinks that maybe she did it.
True.
So
Violet is my strongest suspect at the moment.
Oh no.
Unfortunately.
Perhaps I can leverage that.
Because you've never done anything wrong in your life.
No, nothing
Never.
wrong ever in your life. Someone who's never done anything wrong in their life ever. Yutsai, how are you this evening?
Hello. Yes, that's me. Lawful good, never punches a reporter in Mass Effect 3. Never done a single thing wrong, Yutsai. Just don't look into my social media history. No, I'm kidding. Yes, hello, I'm Yutsai. I'm playing Charles Way. And if you think about it, really, we're all Schrodinger's murderer. We are both simultaneously the murderer and not the murderer until proven otherwise. So,
Because as a matter of fact, I believe you had a diary entry in your own handwriting saying that you
Mhm.
did it.
yes, whether that was a drug-induced haze, a ghostly hand framing me, or some other third thing, I'm excited to find out what is the truth, whether the public knows of it or not.
I think the only person who might not be a suspect
Is
in violence-
you, the
Me?
facilitator. How are you, Trooper?
If I'm not the suspect, that's a problem, because I'm just trying to say I feel like people should be very suspicious of me in all
Are you
ways.
saying you did it?
I'm not saying I did it, but I'm not saying I didn't do it. What I'm saying is
Sounds like a confession. Should call
No.
the cops.
no, the confession, I'm just saying that I'm Trooper SJP and I am the facilitator for these shenanigans. And this is episode 4 of Upon the Hexhamshire Moors. We are in 1816 and we've had a funeral. Violet, the Countess, her father died of natural causes. And by that, I mean that he was very strong and healthy, because he was, after all, the High Sheriff of Northumberland. And then he died. He wasted away really quickly and then died. He probably hemorrhaged blood. And that's just a bummer for somebody who is so healthy and vigorous to just die that way. But then people pondered, by people, I mean a particular inspector and his confidant, Hattie, that he might have been poisoned in the same way that the Chumley business manager was also poisoned, a deadly poison hidden in an expensive tea from overseas ordered from a shop in London. Tea which, was delivered to Violet's estate, according to the tea shop owner in London. And we also have to know that, Violet is an expert in teas. And really, who knows? There's a lot of business there. So if I remember correctly, so we had a funeral. And at the funeral, people were distraught. I'm just seeing a small note from one of my players. I think it might be about murder.
It's not about murder.
Oh, right. Oh, so you said that you murdered and poisoned.
No, I did not.
Wow. That's a whole nother person I didn't realize that was murdered in the game, but hey,
Oh, okay.
that's fine. And so right at this funeral, it turns out that a stranger from outside of this, please remember, this town, Bardon Mill, has like 500 people in it. It is a very small town. They don't trust outsiders. And so an outsider showed up and caused a scene at the funeral, shattering glass in his hand. That seemed very suspicious. And then, so that looked a little bit weird. But then Charles Chumley gave a whole speech about how the nearly departed Violet's dad was maybe a jerk because he blamed his father for everything, but his father didn't do anything and is completely innocent, which caused a whole scene. And then there was a bit of a scuffle as his sister was trying to get him to like ixnay on the really inappropriateness at the funeral. And that caused the coffin to open up, and inside, in probably blood, was written traitor, betrayer, and revenge, which caused Violet to break down into tears and to be comforted by Lord Gills, who was there and ready to be the new Lord High Sheriff. And so that was exciting. People broke. We learned that Captain John was meant to go and meet our dearly departed Lord Brazelton. And there was some sort of situation about perhaps some sort of engagement between Captain John and Violet, which Violet knows nothing about. But Violet does know that somebody broke into her father's office and found evidence suspicious evidence. See, what you may not know is that a bunch of people died. People in the town, a number of people in the town, they were working on this ship that belonged to the Chumleys, and that ship went down mysteriously, and everybody there died except for Elder Chumley, who just happened not to be on that boat. And there were life insurance policies secretly took out on each person who was on that ship, worth a lot of money. And that money, well, people, it was rumored, but nobody knew if it was true. I know it's true because somebody took all that money. It was Roland. Anyhow, but the insurance policies, which proves that there was some kind of shenanigans, whoever would hold those insurance policies was probably the person who did it, right? One of those insurance policy deeds was found in Papa Brazelton's office, and Violet found it and was like, let me just hide this. Suspicious. I wonder what my dad was up to. She found out that her dad was making deals behind her back and also maybe was involved in murdering a bunch of people for their money, which is weird. Who knows what that's about? But, you know, she wasn't really dealing with the business that much back at that point in time anyway. So how does she know what her father was up to? Meanwhile, the new Captain John was sort of brought as an injured person over to the estate of the Altringhams. And there was some suspiciousness about all of that. But Charles, not wanting to be an ungracious host, allowed our Captain John to stay over at his place, which is a nice thing. Our inspector from London has conferred with Hattie, who's had some dreams about her friend Violet trying to murder her. It's really bad. And then Charles saw in his diary in his own hand that he said that he killed Papa Brazelton. At least that's what the handwriting in his diary said, but who knows what that's about. How are y'all feeling?
Murderous.
Nice.
Safe.
Suspicious.
Nice.
Sad.
Do you want to add anything to our recap?
If I remember correctly, I recognized the writing in the coffin as
Yes.
Charles's, correct?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
I also-
Go ahead.
Oh,
No,
I was
please.
just going to mention that I wrote a very personal letter that I meant to burn, but someone dug it out of the fire.
One found. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. About giving up things. Also, I suppose I should note, yes, Papa Brazelton sort of had a letter all about, right, you know, wanting to bring Charles into the family, the Brazelton family. I believe also some of the village drunkards, Bertha, Mary, Patrick, Timothy, and Jim decided to dig up Lord Brazelton's body because they felt that maybe he was a vampire.
Vampires.
But they were scared off by Captain John arriving on the scene, and Captain John discovered that there was no body in that coffin. And so was like, let me just bury this maybe. But
Wasn't he
observed.
seen?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He was seen by our detective who then dug up the body, found it missing, and was like, did this person just steal the body? What's going on?
But then
And that person did not see me have bosom paperwork from my father's office. I said,
no, sadly. So I believe with that happening, I feel like it might be important to just note some of our rumors so that we can know what's happening in our world. We currently have 7 spread rumors. We have here, let me get this for you. Copy this link. Anybody who's in our chat right now, if you want to, you can go and look at our spreadsheets if you like. So we currently have 7 spread rumors, and these rumors can be used as resolve tokens to have shenanigans happen. And our current spread rumors are: the Elder Charles Chumley VIII sank the ship on purpose, killing a number of townspeople. The Chumley family has hidden away wealth to avoid paying restitution. Violet gifted the Chumley estate to a troupe of actors the day after the anniversary of his death, which does make her seem very suspicious, doesn't it? A fortune. Hattie will be okay relinquishing the business if Charles wants it. Lord Rafferty, the ancient man that Violet has married, killed his 5 wives. He's aiming to off Violet and take her money. And he killed Lord Brazelton. Oh, we have another suspect, sorry. The next spread rumor is Lord Brazelton's estate has proof that the Brazeltons did the misdeeds around the shipwreck and framed the Chumleys. And our last spread rumor is the harvest isn't going to be good this year or next. A famine might be on its way. We have a couple of fading rumors, which if they are not spread, will fade away, including Lady Violet is an accomplice to her dad's misdeeds, maybe also a vampire. We don't know. The captain, John, was heard lurking around the Brazelton estate about to murder Lord Rafferty, but got Lord Brazelton instead. Probably because he wanted to marry her. Like, it's really unclear what the strangers, we have this stranger in our midst and what his mysterious motivation is. Also, a fortune. Violet will live up to her family's reputation as the Lady Brazelton and dedicated to managing the household. And fortune, Charles Way will never marry. Another fortune, Hattie will inherit the family business. And the last fortune is Violet will not marry Lord Gilles, although we still have time because that has not yet faded. Those are our current rumors and scandals. And we are going to start with our second half of our cycle, which is another novel phase, and we're going to be doing visitations. So, I feel like not everybody remembers who we all are. Of course, we have Charles, good old Charles. Charles, might you tell us who your supporting characters are?
The ones I play, or the ones that are related to me most
The
directly?
ones who are related to you.
Yes, of course. Of course, my pride and joy, little Jennifer Chumley, age 9 currently, sensible daughter, but she's not a teenager yet, so we'll see if that changes. We have my ex-wife of a poorly thought out marriage of 2 weeks, Sophia St. Clair. Hasn't come up much lately.
Except she's currently in town.
She is currently in town.
Yep. Living with your sister.
And of course, little Samuel Crafton, age 10, who I have as an eager assistant to help me run errands, as I am picking up the family business of sorts, and I need some extra manpower. But I have an arrangement that I help arrange that his mother can get some medicine, and he in return runs little errands for me here and there.
Well, let's hang over to your sister. Harriet Sedgwick, or Hattie as she's known. Who are your supporting characters?
I have 2 supporting characters. The first one is my husband, Leslie Altringham. And then the second is our dear Inspector Gridley, who's hopefully going to help us solve some shit.
One hopes. And you have the ability to, at any moment when you feel like you need it, you have a third connection that you can just bring in.
Yes.
When you will. But speaking of bringing in things, I feel like our Simon brought in not just some supporting characters, but also a brand new persona in disguise. Captain John W. James, might you mention the supporting characters in the world of your masquerader?
And so who I have linked to me is Anselm.
Mhm.
Anselm, by their stage name, they are a playwright and mentor. And they haven't
They've been
featured
lurking.
yet. Yeah,
Oh, they're-
that there's been a thing. There's been one thing that I'm not completely aware of, but they are there. They exist.
Yeah, they're lurking in a number of places, disguised as the help in a number of estates, learning lots of people's secrets.
God damn. Did you need anything else about them?
I believe you had another connection here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, I meant about Anselm specifically. So another one that I'm playing that is not a connection to Roland specifically, but to Charles,
Yeah.
is Samuel Crafton.
Oh no! Once a Mustang. That's your other.
You mean mine first? Okay, no,
Yeah,
it's because I was just going through like all of them. Amastan is my quote unquote bodyguard. Basically a bored Tuareg guide that I met in Mali that was like that I introduced to the concept of what I'm the con that Roland is pulling, and Amastan was just 100% on board. Wanted to see how things were. Yeah, he wants to see how it's going to fall out. And I mean, it's better than, whatever guide job he had in the desert. And at least this way he would get to like live among high society for free, like freeload on people for a while. But he takes his role of the bodyguard very seriously.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of bodies you might want to guard, Violet.
Hi.
Who are your supporting people?
Well, there's my dead dad.
He's dead though, as far
yeah,
as you know.
his name's crossed off, but it was Lord Rupert Brasselswood. He's got 3 resolve tokens, but he's a dead guy, so that's a little concerning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Non-deceased supporting characters that are underneath me. We have my husband, Lord Leopold Rafferty, who's 71 years old. He's pretty tired a lot. He really enjoys his books and his him time, his me time,
He also finds you a little hysterical, which is tiresome.
He thinks I'm a little silly. Yeah. I'm just so young. So young, like 50 years younger. It's a little dramatic sometimes. Like, whew, the troublesome youth, But then I also have my lady's maid, Abigail Bird. And she's been with me since I was a very young girl. And yeah, that's my supporting characters.
And I'll just note, we have Lord Edmund Gills, who is everybody's favorite person. Lady Faith Gills, the most gorgeous, freshest maid in the town. Everybody loves her. And dead Charles Chumley VIII, though I should just cross his name out because he's completely dead, currently out of resolve tokens, which is tragic because dead people need resolve tokens too. I feel like it's unfair to think that just because you're dead, you don't get to have resolve tokens. Oh, and before we start our first visitation, by the way, I'm going to ask who wants the first visitation. Why don't we all go around and say what your inner conflict is? Charles.
Mine is the many versus the one. Selfishness versus selflessness.
Captain James.
Mine is heal versus hermit. So am I going to move on, or is Roland going to close in upon himself and retire from the world?
Hattie.
Mine is vindictive versus forgiving. So, am I going to continue to ruin people's lives, or am I going to let things go?
You know,
We'll see.
We'll see. Violet.
Violet's is heart versus duty.
I see. With that said, I would like to ask you, which one of you has a scene you would like for your visitation? And please do not forget, I think almost all of you still have pivotal moments. If something pivotal happens, even if your character is not present, that will change your fortunes or has the possibility to do so. Note it, call it out. And I will note that only one person is monologued this cycle, and that was Hattie. Everyone else is still yet to monologue. And so, who has a scene?
I would like to do a visitation with Violet because I believe we had a letter and we set up a lunch or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think she was inviting you to tea.
Yes, I
Yeah.
invited you to tea.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I invited you to lunch specifically because it seemed the most
Yes.
innocuous.
I'm sure there'll be really good tea there, though.
Oh, of course.
Always. I might, abstain from the tea. We'll see. We'll see. Yes. So in the middle of a random Tuesday, Hattie will head over to the Brestleton estate. I think
It's
No,
lunchtime,
so-
you say?
lunchtime, yes. I was gonna have Hattie bring the kids, but she's not gonna. I don't think so. Not for this conversation. Yeah.
Mhm. What's the weather like?
What time of year is it?
If I remember correctly, we are in the winter.
Winter. Okay.
We are in January.
Okay.
Because Lord Byron's wife just left him with his kid and took his kid. There's a lot of
Right.
gossip in society, but this is
That's
also
right.
the year without summer.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So in that case, snow all over the ground, obviously. It's that weird kind of like middle of the day twilight that you get right before it start to snow and storm. Might be snowing on my way home, I don't know, but for now the skies are clear. It's just kind of like on the cusp of a storm. And I will knock on the door, I guess, and wait to be let in.
I believe Abigail Bird would answer.
Okay.
Who is she's really old.
Yeah.
She's
She's
like
like 40.
she's 42.
Pretty old.
I mean, luckily she's married, so it's okay. I imagine her husband probably also works at the estate.
Oh yeah,
More
it's
than
probably like
likely.
the gardener or something.
Yeah, probably. And she is, I would imagine, so she is a lady's maid. So I imagine she's sturdy,
Mhm.
but she's not particularly heavy because she's not a cook who gets to hang out in the kitchens all the time. She's going up and down stairs all the time.
Right.
And also just lurking around and knowing secrets, because that's what people do when they work as the help in these kinds of places, because nobody notices them. They could just stand in the corner and people just don't even realize they're there because rich people, you're going to wait, what can you say? And she answers the door rather than the butler. And you can see she has got a handkerchief that she's like a small towel, like a towel, right? Like a cloth that seems to be covered in blood. That she's like, looks like she was wiping up something. She goes, "Oh, there, Lady Aldringham. I suppose you're here for tea."
Yes, I am. Is everything all right?
Oh, it was just, don't even worry about it. I would. And she just kind of like puts her hand behind her back so that the bloody cloth is not in your face, because you're a lady.
I'm a lady, yeah.
Yeah. And she wouldn't want to upset you, clearly.
Okay.
The ladies out there by the by the solarium, so you can go
Perfect.
and everything's set up. If you don't mind, I've got a couple of things to do, but you know the way to get there, yes?
Of course, of course.
Of course. And once she lets you in, she sort of shuts the door, and she, rather than escort you to the solarium, she rushes off towards the kitchen.
Is there anyone else around?
Well, do you take off rich person goggles?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
There are people around, but they are the help, which means their job is to be present but not seen, and
Okay.
to see nothing, and to hear nothing unless you ask for them, in which case immediately they hear something, which is their
Okay.
name, and then they come to find out what you want. But there's like, it's not like there are like 14 people here, but they're like, this is a full estate, right? So
Right.
people are never far, but it's that strange thing where you can just never see them if you don't want to, and
Right.
they pretend like they don't hear or see you unless you're about to sit
You
down. In which
acknowledge
case
them.
yes,
Yeah,
in which case they
yeah.
bring a chair immediately. It's that kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Then I would like to give it a couple seconds and then follow her to the kitchen. I want to, because there's a lot of shit going on right now, and a bloody rag that she won't tell me anything about is kind of concerning. So
Why would she want to worry you with things like that?
this lady, like, I was a child with her. Like,
It's
I'm
true.
sure I spent a lot of time with
You
her.
did.
So
Yeah.
I'm concerned. I'm just concerned.
When you follow her towards the kitchen, you can hear the sounds of violence. If you peek, you will notice the cook, who's a fairly sort of large man, very ruddy, and he's hacking at some sort of like, probably a sheep, right?
Mhm.
One of the sheep from the estate is like, dinner is being dressed, right?
Prepared,
And prepared. And you see her, and she throws this cloth into the sink basin, and she does not seem to have a cut hand or anything like that, but she seems to be rather a bit fretful as the cook is dressing the meat, and you have one of the other people who work in the kitchen sort of putting together a plate
Mhm.
of like beautiful like cucumber sandwiches, and probably some dandelion wine on a side, and making sure. And then one of them says, one of the people who's like one of the maids goes, where's the tea that Lady Violet asked specifically to be served? And Lady Violet's trusted lady's maid, Abigail Bird, goes, "Oh, one moment." And she sort of goes off to a pantry. She comes back with this sort of like special tin of tea, and the maid starts preparing it, right? Sort of getting it all prepared. It seems as if there is tension in the room.
Okay.
Like, everybody's working because they clearly want everything to go well, but it feels as if there's a little bit of tension in the household, at least from the people who work here.
Interesting. Okay. I'll go to the solarium now.
And I have a question.
Okay.
As you are heading towards the solarium, do you see Lord Rafferty, who's also played by you, anywhere? I just want to know if you see him. I just want to know if he's around.
It's a random Tuesday in the middle of winter. I imagine he would be by a fireplace reading a book or something. So if I happen to pass one of those, I imagine I would.
I quite like the idea that he is probably in the master, the den, the master greeting room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the bearskin rug, right? And like the whole thing. Just sort of taking up the space where Papa Brazelton used to sit, right? Just like in Papa Brazelton's favorite chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I imagine. Yes, and in a totally different room, the solarium is where you would find your best chum and tea
Yes.
expert, Violet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I kind of see him in passing. He doesn't acknowledge me, so I don't acknowledge him. And I will go to the solarium and see if I can figure out some information from my dear friend Violet. Oh, good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon, Harriet. Please have a seat, wherever you like.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you. And I think so. Harriet will sit next to her, but I think she's very tense.
No, no.
She's just very like, I don't want to be here. This is very strange for me, kind of thing. So if Violet notices that, that's up to you. But yeah. So how are you?
Well, I've definitely been better, but I'm doing the best I can considering the circumstances, I believe.
Of course, of course. Have you heard anything about, your father, the funeral, anything like that?
Well, you did recommend we get the toxicology report, yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
I imagine we're probably still waiting for that, because I imagine that has to go to a big city to get evaluated, which would take quite some time. Probably like a month or so.
But it was the samples were taken before people dug up an empty coffin.
Yeah, I don't know if I know that has been happened, so.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think I don't know that either. Yeah.
We're still waiting for the report to come in. I'm
course.
expecting any week now. They should have had the results. I believe they should have arrived last Tuesday. So.
Good. All right. And again, I'm so sorry to put that on you. It's just things are very strange right now.
Yes. No, and you're right. It would be better to know that way. If there is foul play involved, I could possibly do something about it.
I want to roll an insight check. But that's not a thing in this game. Yes.
Instead, you make offers. You know what I mean? This is how it is.
I know.
If you want to know that she's lying to you, that would be a resolve token.
Yeah. I don't think I'm quite there yet because I might want to save it for later in the conversation. So
Yeah.
we'll hold off on that for now. Is there anything I can do? Anything I can assist with? Do you need anything?
Your company alone is invaluable in these times. Thank you for coming by. It's been very looks around a bit, perhaps even at the doorway, out the windows. A bit lonely as of late.
Yes, and you do know you're always welcome at our place. You don't have to stay in this big house with just you and Rafferty.
Yes. I know. I just really haven't felt like going anywhere much.
Of course, understandable.
Perhaps once it warms up a bit.
Yes, this weather has been dreadful, hasn't it?
It's been quite a long winter, yes.
So long. Hopefully it doesn't get any worse. Knock on wood. No. Listen, do you remember several years ago when my manager went missing and we found that he had died under mysterious circumstances?
Yes, I believe you said a murder had occurred.
Yes. Shit. Part of the reason why I asked about getting that toxicology report for your father, my manager was poisoned.
Good heavens.
Much in the same way, the symptoms at the very least are much in the same way that your father looked.
Goodness, you don't think someone's poisoned both your manager and my father, the same person, do you?
Inside joke. goddamn it. No. I don't know.
I mean, who would want to hurt both of us? I mean,
that is
I
an excellent
even
question.
fathom.
I can imagine, lots of people wanting to hurt my family. Your family, not so much. He's the High Sheriff. And not really anybody had a problem with him unless they were a criminal.
Well, perhaps it is a criminal. I don't know. I mean, criminals do kill people, I suppose.
Yes.
And oh, look, T is here, and well, we'll give you a look that says, "I'll tell you something important after once
Okay.
we're alone again."
Yeah.
And I imagine, I'll pour the tea for both of us after it's brought down. This is a lovely tea from India. It was brought in over the holidays.
Do I recognize it as the tea?
Well. That's an interesting question. That feels like resolve tokens might be involved here.
Oh no.
I feel like
I will let you know
Let's
Violet's
see.
definitely going to drink it.
so there is do we have any really good spread rumors right now is my question. No, that one's not particularly exciting. But what about your reputation tags? Is there anything very exciting there that can be used against you all? Nothing real.
I have lovesick and Hattie has tasteless and brazen.
Poisons can be tasteless.
Yeah.
I was thinking, is there a way for me to somehow offer a resolve token or use someone's tags
Absolutely.
in order
Absolutely.
to poison one of these two?
Absolutely.
But have it done in a way where you aren't sure which one was the intended target.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
But
Brother.
you just yes.
I'm not there.
No, but that is what 100% a thing you can do with resolve tokens.
Yeah.
But you have to enter into a negotiation.
Yes. Let's come to a agreement, shall we? The two things I want to happen is one of you are poisoned, and we don't know who was supposed to be poisoned, which leaves a lot of open-ended because there's a lot of killing going around, folks.
A lot of killing
So-
going around.
So honestly, it could be anyone who is trying to. It could have been an accident. It could have been one of you two trying to poison the other, or one of you trying to make yourselves look innocent.
Or
I just think
us
that it's
not
really-
knowing that the canister has poison in it and then us just drinking it. Yeah.
And it could be as easy as perhaps Violet having a favorite cup that was in front of Hattie, and then it's like, oh, this is my personal cup actually. And someone else might not know that, or it could be Violet pulling the old switcheroo, or I don't know. So yeah, what do I have to do for that to happen?
Well, the question right now, it seems to me like you're offering a resolve token to whoever would like to be poisoned. And so the question is,
I'll get
you can
poisoned.
either.
Well, I was going to say, I wouldn't mind being poisoned.
Oh,
Poison both of us.
Just
Poison both of
lining up to get some
Woo!
harm done. I mean, if we
What?
really want to, we could flip a coin.
But Charles wants only one person poisoned.
That's fair.
That is
That's
true.
true. That is true.
I wanted to look bad for whoever
Who-
isn't poisoned.
So,
Oh, for whoever isn't poisoned.
Oh.
In which case, the person who isn't poisoned would get the resolve token.
So being poisoned is not the bad thing. Maybe I just give them both the resolve token and let them decide, perhaps.
Yes, you can certainly do that and have, but so basically one person is going to look bad and one person's going to be poisoned.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Both suck. I feel it's only fair.
Fair.
I feel like if Hattie's poisoned, it's going to solidify her thoughts that Violet has something to do with this.
Oh, and Violet has refused every other time their temptation has come up to mess things up with Hattie. Violet's always been about making up with Hattie.
Yeah.
And if
Oh, that
Violet
would
gets
suck.
poisoned, it just looks like there's somebody out to get all the Brasseltons.
Right, right.
So it sounds like it'd be more interesting if Hattie was poisoned and Violet
Okay.
is the one that comes out fine. Violet,
are-
sister.
Works for
Resolve
me.
token for each of you, holding them up for you to take.
If we are agreed, please
All
exchange
right,
those,
why not? Let's do it.
those
All right.
tokens.
I go
Let's
from
go.
3 to 1.
At the moment, I wonder how many. Oh,
You know what?
mhm.
Captain, you get in here too. Everyone gets poisoned. I got one left. Want to get poisoned?
I got poison for
I'm
everybody.
kidding.
Oh, you might need that one.
I'm in enough trouble as it is right now. Can I just not be near the house?
Very true. Actually,
Well-
to be fair, you're probably one of the suspects.
It could be a resolve token to get.
Of
there, but,
course I am. I probably said the word T within the last 24 hours.
Probably
So
did.
like,
Yeah.
Leslie breaking down the door in my place to where is he? Where's the
Where
captain
is
gonna
he?
beat him up?
Oh. Continue on.
So we get the tea, and Hattie
Yes.
hesitates.
By the way, if
But-
you like, wait, I will note this because this is interesting.
Mhm.
You know, Yutsai, you used 2 of your resolve tokens, but you did make the note that tasteless is one of Hattie's negative tags, which could be interpreted as her not necessarily having as good of taste to sort of pick up the poison. If you
Hmm.
wanted to, you could tag her negative reputation tag rather than using your second resolve token. And that would, if she accepts it, that would get rid of her tasteless negative reputation tag.
Yeah, I think that would be fitting.
And
Yeah.
you would keep two resolve
right.
togens.
That works for
I'll
me.
add the resolve token back and take
Yep.
advantage of your negative reputation.
And Nugget, you don't get an extra resolve token, but you lose that tag,
Okay, perfect.
Mhm. Which means you don't taste it.
Right. So, and it
Violet
makes
has
sense
no
'cause
idea.
Hattie doesn't like English tea, so so she thinks it all tastes gross anyway. So
There's definitely
we-
plenty of cream and sugar at the table.
oh, absolutely,
So
and
for
she
you to
does
drown it.
her
Yeah.
her one sugar and 2 splashes, or is it the other way around? 2 sugars, 1 splash. However, I said I'd take my
Yeah.
tea. I think it's 2 sugars, 1 splash of cream.
Splash of cream and 2 sugars. I wrote it
2
down.
sugars. Yeah, perfect.
I wrote it down.
She like hesitates, but then she puts in the 2 sugars and does the cream, and because as much as she suspects Violet, this is still her best friend, and
Yeah.
part of her can't imagine Violet being a murderer. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and so now we've
Agreed
gotten our
with you.
tea and it's been served. We've
Yes.
mixed it up how we want, and like servant has left to stand outside the doorway once more.
Mhm.
I'm going to be honest with you, Hattie. I'm quite concerned. I found evidence of someone having broken into my father's office. The other night when I was looking through the paperwork, and it concerns your family a bit.
oh,
I found papers that I hadn't seen before, and when I checked old financial records and books, I didn't see anything referencing to it. I even went into the attic to reference the tomes there. I will pull out the bosom paperwork.
This is an insurance policy taken out on one of the townspeople who died in that ship that everyone blames your father for. And you remember, I don't know if you remember this, but there were all those rumors, right? That your family had all this like money hidden away when
Mhm.
clearly you've never seen it.
right.
Charles had never seen it. Your family clearly did not get it because you did not have the money to pay off that restitution.
Mhm.
Violet did, though. Violet paid off the restitution for you. And here she is with this insurance.
Policy.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen anything in any of the records or the books that indicate why this would be there, and there was signs of forced entry into the office. I feels almost as if someone had planted this paperwork. I mean, my father's writing isn't on it. I don't know why it's here. I hope this
Who-
doesn't sound crazy to you, but I feel like I've been losing my mind a bit these past few weeks.
So the signature on this insurance policy, whose signature is it?
It would have been, I think, to be most exciting, right? It would have been the the now dead Chumley business manager's
Okay.
Mhm.
signature.
Oh, that
who-
is exciting. Yeah, I like that.
yeah. But that person can no longer explain what that was because they've
Yeah.
been murdered by
They've been
someone.
murdered. Yeah.
Hmm.
And
I think
you mentioned that he might have been murdered. If he was murdered and my father was murdered, that means someone is doing things, and to both of our families, and I don't know why. I'm sorry, I must sound hysterical. It just takes a long swig of tea that is a little unladylike, but it's fine.
I very carefully fold the paper back up.
I haven't
And
told
hand it
anyone
back.
other than you.
I hand it back to Violet.
Take it back, put it back in the bosom paperwork.
I don't know what's going on. When I don't think Hattie knows what to reveal to Violet at this moment. She is just completely stunned.
Yeah, Violet's laying all her cards at the table. She's like, look, I don't know who else to turn to except
Yeah.
you, best friend with a solid head on her shoulders.
What's the date on this insurance policy?
The date on the insurance policy would have been before the ship sank.
Before the ship sank. Okay. Is there like a this has been cashed?
Yes.
Okay.
And it would have been cashed after your father died.
After Dad died. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even shown Lord Rafferty. You and I are the only people who know. But things that I've told you.
Well, I'm trying to put the pieces together. So either we're saying that someone is framing your father, trying to make it look like he's the one who sunk the ships, or he actually sunk the ships?
I don't know. My father had no interest in shipping.
No, but if there was tension between him and my father, which we do know that there was towards the end.
Towards the end, but they were best of friends until then.
Sounds familiar. I don't say that in character.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know what to do with this.
I don't know as well. I was thinking perhaps we could continue to keep our ears and eyes open and let each other know if we find anything. I'm going to go through all of the books and files he had in his libraries and rooms and such.
I don't think that'd be very helpful, because if he was doing something like insurance fraud, I doubt it'd be on the books.
That's why I intend to search every inch of this house.
Understandable.
Take some time, but I think it might be worth it.
It's just so strange to me that there's just one.
Yes, you'd think if it was full insurance fraud, there'd be many.
The rest would be somewhere.
Somewhere.
And typically, doesn't the bank keep those when they've
Yes.
cashed them? So why is it here?
I don't know. That's why it all seems so strange and suspicious. And I don't want anyone else to get the wrong idea, but I know I can trust you, Hattie.
Straight face. Well, thank you for telling me. Has Lord Rafferty gone into your father's study anytime recently? I can't imagine him having anything to do with this.
Not in the work study, as far as I
There's
know.
no-
He's mostly
no
invested
reason
in
for
taking
him.
up the main parlor and the library in there.
Yes, I did see him earlier. There's no reason for him to have anything to do with I don't think he might even know about this nonsense.
I wouldn't think so, but I suppose we can't rule anything out.
Right. Have you Have you seen that new man in town?
No, I don't believe I know who you're speaking of.
Captain James, I think.
No, I have not. I think I may have heard the name, but I've not encountered him. No.
Well, he was at your father's funeral. He's the one who made the scene. I don't know if you were aware, but
There's a look that says there was a lot of scenes that happened at the funeral.
the first scene.
Oh yes.
She read all those letters from her dad, so it seems like she's hiding things from you. Just not
Oh, that's right. I forgot about those letters.
I didn't.
Tequila Lindy forgot. Actually, you said Captain John W. James, correct?
Yes, that's the one.
One moment, if you please, and I will
Of course.
quickly go fetch a couple of letters from Captain John W. James because I found them, and I will bring them and show Hattie.
Continue to sip my poison tea.
Yes,
Take some notes.
I will sit down, and I will present it. I found these in my father's study when I was looking through things. It seems they actually
Oh.
my father was sharing correspondence with Captain James, a possible courtship. Then I married Lord Rafferty.
When are these dated? Before you married Lord Rafferty?
Yes, that first year.
Wow. He did say, so afterwards he did come to the estate and he did say that he had a meeting with he was going to have a meeting with your father, but didn't get to because he passed, unfortunately. And he did say he was going to come and see you. Who is this man? He just shows up out of nowhere and suddenly he wants...
no idea.
How does he even know of you? No offense, you're, stunning in your own right, but he's an American. How does he know anything of any of us?
I don't know. Perhaps he and my father share a mutual friend or contact or correspondence. I'm uncertain.
I can't imagine who of your father's correspondents or friends would associate with an American.
Well, I can't think of any immediately off the top of my head. It was your father who was more interested in trade, but if they had
He was.
an acquaintance, perhaps I don't know.
I'm just going to say that I don't think that Yutsai should have to spend that resolve token. I think I will. Because I think it'll be really bad for him. But don't worry about it. In the best way ever.
Okay. There is the inspector who originally investigated my manager's death. He is the one who's looking into your father's death and investigating that as well. I don't think we are quite ready to go to him just yet.
Yeah, it's all very.
But
evidence we have is few and far between.
It's very. Forgive me. It's very incriminating, and I don't want to jump to conclusions, and I don't want a man of the law to jump to conclusions either, especially not about you, because honestly, this town would be a mess without you, for me personally.
I appreciate your kind words.
Of course. Just, if that captain does come around, be careful. His timing is very strange with the death of your father and everything going on. Just, we should probably both be careful right now.
I think that is wise. Hattie, as usual, you are quite brilliant.
More so cautious and just confused.
Very confused. It's a very confusing situation.
Yes, very. But on to perhaps brighter things. Would you like to come over this weekend? We have Jenny and the boys. Jenny's staying with us currently because apparently Captain James is staying with my brother.
See.
But we're doing a family dinner tomorrow night, I believe, if you'd like to join us.
I would love to. I should probably ask my husband if that.
You can ask him, but hopefully he'll say no.
Is it past 6 p.m.?
Oh, more than likely. We normally don't eat until about 6:37.
Oh, 7. 7's a bit late for him. He might have to decline.
Okay, perfect. Please don't take this the wrong way, but and I know it's kind of inappropriate considering your father just passed, but I do hope he doesn't last much longer.
Well, my father gave me a deadline of a year to find someone to marry, and
That man.
I did not wish for it to be Lord Chills.
Yes, out of the two choices, I believe I would have chosen the same.
So odd your dad give you an ultimatum like that. That means it seems like he's so strange.
This is the Regency. It's not all that strange.
I know, but I mean, you trusted your dad. Why? And why this guy, this captain? So
Yeah.
strange.
So strange. Yep.
So I think with that, I think we
Mhm.
can have our
Yeah.
next scene.
Just squeeze Hattie's hands and kiss, bid farewell. Looking forward to dinner this weekend.
Bye-bye.
Who would like the next visitation?
I might have an idea.
Oh, please. Oh, please. Because I also have ideas and they're all
But-
bad.
But I need to ask
Absolutely.
Nugget. So you
Yes?
got poison.
I
maybe.
did. Definitely.
What if? Because I'm trying to like innocent my character a little.
Oh.
What if the scene that happens is you on the way back from the estate?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the result of the poison happened. We can
Mhm,
decide
mhm,
what it is
mhm.
exactly, but the captain is the captain might have been trying to eavesdrop on the house, and so
Yeah.
he is the first person to find you
Mhm,
and like
Yeah.
get help or something.
Yeah.
mhm.
So that at least like maybe he's
A
not a
little bit of-
killer.
A sprinkling of a good deed.
Yeah, that's it.
Or
Yeah,
he
I'm okay with that.
definitely is. Yeah. Okay. Describe the moment.
All right. So I feel like, well, first of all, before I choose the because the scene is going to be, I was probably going to put it as a weather interlude, because the scene with Hattie, I believe, was also a weather interlude.
And it is in mine, it was about to like snowstorm. So
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Well, it
Um,
technically wasn't a weather interlude. It's just a scene, and I just want to know what the weather was like.
okay.
Oh, okay.
I was just
Then I
curious.
think it would just be a scene to maybe as it begins, because it's kind of cool to have like the snow beginning to fall, not the big like heavy snowfall yet, but
Yeah.
just the
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 stuff
light snow. Yeah.
before it gets bad.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's something about someone fainting in a snow-covered field.
Yes.
Um,
yes.
But do I need to give Nugget a resolve token for this? Because
There's
I'm
not-
technically
as long as you do not overhear anything you should not know, and as long as it doesn't seem like it will negatively impact her character. So I feel like the answer is no.
okay. Good. It's what I wanted to know. So yeah, let's set our scene outside the residence. How long would it take you, Hattie, to go back on foot?
Not long. I imagine it's like a 5-10 minute walk.
So maybe halfway.
Mhm.
In clear view of both manors. So if anyone is like looking at out the window or something, they can
Mm-hmm.
see it.
Mm-hmm.
How do we want to start this?
So I think I think Hattie's walking home, right? I think it starts kind of like as like a just a kind of a dizziness, and she maybe as she's walking, she just stumbles a step, stops, rights herself, and then keeps walking. And the more she walks, the worse it gets, until at one point, just kind of on the side of the road, she just stops, sways, and then conks over into the snowbank.
And I think that's when you would hear the footsteps of Captain James rushing up to you, which is, kind of strange that he was so close.
Enemies.
Yeah, well,
Two.
you don't
That too.
you don't know me technically.
No, I don't. I don't have a clue.
You don't know me?
I don't know my
But
life.
yeah, he would rush to your side, and immediately, begin to ask, Miss, ma'am, are you all right?
I think she's like fully passed out. I don't think she's even conscious at this point.
May I add a small detail, because it
Mhm.
is the Regency, that you are dramatically pale in that very sort of like I fainted sort of way, and perhaps like a little bit of like a strand of hair has come out of your right, just very dramatic, right? Yes, yes.
Right. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Of course, Amastan is not with me at the moment.
Because you've been lurking.
And because I was, so I'm gonna pick up Hattie and just, even while unconscious, he's just going to look at her and go, I could have left you here. And he starts shouting, medic! Do we have a doctor around here? Doctor!
I would like to know who all hears this call in between these two estates, within viewpoint of them both. I imagine Rafferty's too old to notice anything.
Oh, yeah, I would too. Violet's kind of on high alert and just had tea with Hattie. I imagine that our estates they're not within sight lines, but I imagine it's close. Like, we could watch each other approaching out our windows.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine Violet might hear it and come.
What about
out to see.
Charles?
No, I don't know. I mean, I was going to go over to Hattie's later for our business talk, so I might be at Hattie's place, but...
Or on your way.
That's true as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I've been so busy plotting, I'm not sure what Charles is doing.
I imagine maybe not Leslie, but one of our servants is probably out in the yard doing something, and they hear and they
chopping firewood.
They get him, and I imagine Leslie comes out.
Yeah, Violet will come out too.
Or
your cloak.
I think that Leslie actually is not at the estate. I think you have to go to London.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Or some business. Because I would be checking in on some stuff. You know what I mean?
That's right. We did talk about that. Yeah.
We did hear some things, and I think that he probably left early in order to sort of head out to get to do some checking.
Absolutely.
Right? So I imagine Leslie is not here.
Perfect.
Yeah. I feel like that's pretty perfect. Go ahead. And I think your servant like sort of rushes out, and I think it's a bit of a panic, right?
Mm-hmm.
As Hattie's out, and the stranger's here. Yes.
Ooh, I'd love to arrive around the same time as the servant.
Yes.
Like, if she crashed right in the middle between our two houses, we'd probably get there around similar times. Just thrown on a probably fur cloak or fur-lined wool cloak. And I would know it's Hattie because I saw her cloak. I saw her arrive in. And then I don't know who this punk is with her.
No.
But I might recognize once I get close. I don't know, but I think number one concern is Hattie. So Captain John W. James would just hear, Hattie! And then I'd rush over.
And the servant would be like, Mum, we need to get her to a doctor.
Yes. Of course. I'm sure there's like one main doctor in this town. Where
There is.
do we have the name for this doctor?
Oh, yes. I know who this doctor is.
Yes,
Bro-
Dr.
He's
Fieldgame.
I was gonna say probably like that Jewish fellow Frankenstein.
No, Frankenstein.
And I would imagine these like, we've got to bundle up. We should. The master of the house is not in, so we should probably tell her brother.
Yes. Please tell Charles. Cinderella. And I'll look at Captain James for probably the first time.
Mhm.
Would I recognize you? Or would I have to look closer?
That would be a resolve token.
Ooh.
Yeah, if for a resolve token, I think you could.
Or perhaps he resembles Roland in that uncanny way that you are.
Oh,
lovesick
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You're
Oh, I do
lovesick
have
enough
lovesick
to-
as a reputation tag.
You do. Mm-hmm.
That would be cool.
Ooh, yeah, let's use that. Let's use that lovesick reputation tag. Let's do
So-
it.
So tell me how this makes your life more miserable.
Oh. Well, also, I do care about Hattie. So I think what happens here is, I look at the captain for the first time to ask the question of, excuse me, sir, do you think you could carry her to the doctor's house just down this way? And then I just stop. And I blink a few times because that's impossible. It couldn't be him. He drowned in the Thames. But he looks so
Dramatically.
much like him. Oh, my heart. That I think she just stops and is just staring at you until the servant shakes her to again, and she's like, "Oh yes, please tell Charles."
I'm sorry, I have to amp this up. It's lovesick,
Yes.
after all. I feel like this means that you are struck with love for this.
Oh yes. Hence why this next part is you go tell Charles. I'll accompany this kind stranger to take Hattie to the doctor.
Yes. That's the kind of drama I want.
Sir,
In-
if you don't mind, that is, could you carry it? It's not far to the
I
doctor's.
can definitely carry her,
Thank you.
Miss Brazelton.
Yes. Sorry. Work talk behind me.
The captain in Roland's mind right now, he just
And she's
dumps
looking at you.
Hattie by
love-struck.
the wayside, and they leave.
She's
like-
looking at you lovesick, and I imagine she's because she's lovesick. This is gonna do something detrimental to her own health, but also to help out Hattie. She's gonna take off the fur wool cloak she's wearing and have Hattie wrapped up in that to take to the doctor. So I will be cloakless and accompanying you instead of returning to my nice warm house.
With your husband, you mean? With where your husband is, you mean?
Yes. Well, I'm so worried about Hattie right now. I mean, I am, but yes.
Where is that doctor?
This way, please. Follow me.
Anywhere. I mean, yes.
Yep.
Uh,
I will lead to the doctor's house.
Can
let's say Dr. Marley.
Dr. Marley.
Yes.
Can I monologue token Captain John William James?
Yes, you can.
I'm gonna monologue token John.
Yes, you
William James.
can.
Yes.
Inside his chest, you would just hear. But in his mind, it's just a jumble of thoughts. He's like, by God, this is Violet again, and the way she looked at me after all these years. Maybe it was worth it. Maybe things are going to get brighter. Maybe there's hope for us yet. If only I didn't have this baggage with me. Maybe I could Violet, I wish I could just leave everything here, and we depart from this dreary place, you and I, just far away to some warmer climes where we are far from all the drama and the shittiness of northern Britain. My toes are freezing, and oh no, what if she starts asking questions? What was I doing here? I need to think of something. I can't just say I was going to visit her. I think someone said something about the grief process. Oh, maudite merde. Je ne sais plus, j'en perds mon anglais. One thing at a time. Roland, we take care of Hattie first, then Violet will be cold, and then she will need to be wound up with your cloak, your coat, or something. Yes, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. And he's like in the snow. He's not walking straight. Like he's sort of wavering because he can't even think straight enough to walk.
Mm-hmm.
I just did a quick internet search. I have to change his name. The doctor. His
Yes.
name is Dr. Hayton. Instead, for reasons.
Okay, Dr. Hayton.
Yes. Yes.
I don't hate it. Yeah.
While
so
those are
we'll take
moving,
it to Dr. Hayton, and I think because I'm lovesick and I'm not feeling the cold, and my heart aches for both this Captain John W. James, who has an uncanny resemblance to my dearest Roland, and I will never love again because I only loved Roland. Well, that's not true, but it was very devastating. And Hattie is my best friend. I think Violet's gonna come down with a cold. She's gonna come down with illness. She's gonna catch cold from being out in the cold without her cloak.
I need to get to. I still need the dramatic music almost. There's while that is happening, you're brought in, and there's old Dr. Hayton, there's like, oh, and he sort of brings in Hattie and he's like shoos you all away so he can do his work on her, and he says, well, he has a look on his face that seems quite like he has to like figure out what's going on. This is when we get the knock on the estate door, the Chumley estate, as the servant, one of the Altringham servants, knocks on the door with great dramaticness.
And just to be clear, that's for me, correct?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Hattie, is that you? Yeah. So where have you been? Tea didn't used to take this many hours. When I open the door to see it's not Hattie.
Sir, sorry to bother you, sir, but your sister's taken ill. She's been brought to old Doc Hayton. You should go right away because her husband's not here, so we need a man of the house to take care of her. You should come with me immediately.
What? Grab my coat.
She was passed straight out.
Passed straight out. Oh no, Hattie. Grab my coat, remember? Shit, daughter. I turn over, point at Samuel. Samuel, watch
He's
Jennifer.
at my place right now.
Oh,
They all are actually, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
all the
Yeah.
kids are at Hattie's because James is staying here.
Yeah.
So
oh, that's right. That's right.
And God forbid we leave the children with James.
I'm just so
He's a
mixed up in
foreigner.
my grief and my sister falling ill. It's just, right. They're at Hattie's. Good. Okay. Grab my coat. Grab my hat of the appropriate time period, and I rush out the door.
And of course, it's this mad dash, right, towards old Doc Hayton's place, who, was studied at the University of Edinburgh. He's actually a very, very good physician. And he's trying to explain what's wrong with Hattie or what can be done. As you are walking in, you can hear him say, "Oh, I'm afraid this is quite, she seems quite ill, perhaps even poisoned. I think perhaps one of the only things what might be done, there's something experimental that has never been done yet, but at least not successfully, but I think this is the only thing we can do to save her. We need something that I'm and my protege is calling a blood transfusion. So, we're going to need a blood relative to be a blood donor. We feel the experiments have shown that if you're not in some way related, then it never works. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But to make it most likely, I think the humors of the blood have to be, I think it's from the same family. So we need someone of the family to do this blood transfusion to perhaps save her from this poison.
Charles should be here soon.
That's when Charles, I think Charles walks in to hear this last moment.
Shouting Hattie's name. Where's my sister? Hattie!
She's right here, sir.
Charles,
Nugget,
it's
will you describe
terrible.
her? Will you describe what she looks like on the table?
Yeah, she, like we said, she is like deathly pale. I imagine at this point, I don't know exactly what this poison does, but I imagine she is
It's Regency poison, you know.
Yeah, she's probably like sweating profusely, like
It'll probably take more than one dose to actually kill you because
Yeah,
again, it's
right,
Regency
right.
poison. But yeah, you don't
I
feel
imagine.
good.
Yeah, no, not at all. I imagine there's like some kind of like rash or something like on the neck and throat kind of area because you know it's foreign allergic reaction kind of vibe. And she's just very shallow breathing, just not doing well at all.
Yes, and this is when Doc Hayton says, "Yes, we will need a blood relation with someone with the same blood humors, so that we can do this transfusion." Charles, this is when you walk in.
Right. And this trends after it's been explained to me what's going on in the recommended treatment.
Yes, it seems as if she's been poisoned.
And this transfusion, it will work.
Well, it's never worked yet, but
What
Lots
do
of
you
blood
mean
to-
it's never worked yet?
yes, well,
You're
historically,
using
it
my
doesn't-
sister for some kind of experiment? Is that
It
what
might be
I'm
when you-
hearing?
No, it might be the only ways to save it. It's like bleeding. It's like leeching, but we have to leech the poison out, and then we have to sort of give her a blood transfusion. But we do need someone with the same blood humor, so a blood relative.
Okay. Hi.
The first
this is-
successful blood transfusion was in 1818, so in 2 years from now.
Yeah, I know. But also, hi, I'm a method actor.
Yes.
We can go with the blood transfusion. I'm just thinking maybe Roland comes up with a less destructive and lethal manner.
It won't be lethal, but we have to have what Charles is going to do about this conundrum.
That's true. I might have something for a resolve token, but
Mhm. Me too,
And
Charles.
how much of my blood do you need?
So the doctor is like we need a blood relative.
Well, here I am, in the flesh, unless I'm somehow adopted.
The doctor says, "Oh, Charles, would you take a quick walk with me into my office?"
Sure.
And he leads you away from this group of people.
Very distressed.
Hattie twitching on the floor.
Would you like a resolve token
For
for you not actually being your father's son?
I mean, we would only share the father if that's the case.
That is correct. That is correct.
I mean, with more resolve tokens, I can fuck with more people.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. She does still have blood relatives around, but she has 2 children, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for my own character goals, the better answer would be say no to the resolve token. But I do think the development is interesting. I would agree.
Okay, let me take my last resolve token. And he pulls you aside and he goes, I'm so sorry to tell you this. As you know, I have been the family physician for all of the families here in Bardon Mill for decades and decades.
Yes, I remember.
Yes, I'm afraid that you are not actually Harriet Sedgwick's blood relative.
Can I use my careless tag to immediately shout that in his face so everyone hears?
Yes!
What do you mean I'm not her? What do you mean I'm not her brother?
Yes, everybody hears that. Everybody hears that. And he goes, Lord Brazelton, please keep your voice down.
Not Brazelton.
Oh, yes, of course.
Sorry.
It's okay. We're all.
No.
That would be a twist, wouldn't it?
Oh yes,
By the way-
I'm Lord Brazelton.
By the way,
I guess I could also get rid of delusional that way.
Trooper, the GM did not make a mistake with what he said.
Oh, wait, what?
The doctor said that.
Oh, that's weird with what we know what happened earlier with Violet and feelings. Ugh.
Oh,
Mhm.
oh,
Ugh.
oh.
Oh, in that case, if that's what you said as a doctor, ooh,
Mhm.
nice twist,
Mhm.
nice twist.
Thank
That part
you.
I will say softer, and as I stop, come again.
I'm so sorry. All the documentation is at the estate. The Brazelton estate is hidden. But there was a complication between who your father and, well, shall we say, two men love the same woman. There was... Yes, well... There was these
Go
things
on.
are scandalous and should not be shared.
Doctor, out with it. I'm not a violent man, but you are trying my patience, withholding this truth from me.
Your actual birth certificate is in the Brazelton estate. Your father and Mr. Chumley were best of friends, but best of friends sometimes fall out when they both love the same woman. Your mother was one of the most intelligent and intriguing women that either one of the two who had been like brothers had ever known. And that, well, the man that you know as your father won her hand. Lord Brazelton never forgave him for that. And I do not think that, well, I'm afraid your father was Lord Brazelton, and I would not if I was sworn to secrecy. I never would have said anything, but you, as not being a blood relative of Harriet's, I'm afraid you do not have the blood humors that could result in a successful transfusion. We know much about blood now. We know that that's all typed by humors, phlegmatic and choleric, and if you don't have the right humors, then this transfusion cannot work.
But there is a chance. It could
There is
save
a
her.
chance.
Charles will think for a moment, and he'll put his passionate face on, which I'm hoping I can use for this. But he will propose quietly. Then we'll make sure it works. Take out the blood you need first, then put her blood in me. If I die, you know it's not safe. But if I don't, then you know you can save her.
It's unorthodox.
Sorry, headset's giving me a low battery warning. Sorry.
It's unorthodox, but and then I imagine maybe we hear like a sickness murmur from Hattie in the other room.
I will
But
not
I-
lose her, Doctor.
I'll do it. And you're going to be using that positive reputation tag?
Yep. I feel passionate would be the most. Carefree doesn't really fit. This is refined blood work.
Ooh, it could.
Really?
You could say that your blood is refined, meaning you're a universal donor.
Oh, that is true.
Ooh.
By a
Right.
stroke of fate, Charles
Yes.
is O negative.
Yes.
He gives so much but cannot take much in return.
And I think that with that positive, you can use that positive tag to sort of say that yes, the transfusion will work. That you
Yes.
can.
Wait,
Mm,
that does mean that Hattie
Yes.
has to be O negative as well, because
Yep.
otherwise it will
Yep.
kill Charles.
Oh
Uh,
no.
Yeah, or technically, yeah. So yeah, because I'm the test. So if I
Yep.
die, then they won't do anything to Hattie.
Yep.
So, but if the only options are here is it works and we're both okay, or I die and then Hattie either survives on her
recovers.
own or dies without me.
Do you accept that Hattie is also O negative? That you
Yeah.
have similar humors, as it were.
Yeah. I'd rather not have my brother, whether he's biological or not, die.
Oh no, it could be a fun twist.
Hey, it could happen. The doctor who is like, will bring out some leeches to test humors and will sort of like push people out of the way. They don't really have the same kind of cleanliness as we do. It's fine.
Oh no!
But
Like transfusions is like, all right, needle in
Yep.
one arm, tube in the other.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep, let's go. And so I think that the doctor would usher people out so that you all can gossip about whatever that's going on, as he would first do the test to see if you have the same blood humors, and then seeing if Charles dies and he doesn't seem to have a bad reaction, leaches out blood, the poisonous blood, the bad blood from Hattie, and then does a transfusion of the good blood, so that she will then she'll have clean blood so that she might be able to recover from this poisoning. But, dear Charles, your actual birth certificate is in the Brazelton estate.
I'm assuming I'm also poisoned now since I have Hattie's blood in me.
Yes, but not a whole lot. It was
Not a whole
Just a
lot.
little
Definitely feel-
poisoned.
Just a little bit,
feel- Yes, you feel
Just
a
what's
Just
it called?
minor.
A pregame of poison.
Pre-game
yeah,
poison.
Yeah. Turns out your dad
Sorry, baby.
was maybe your biological father was maybe kind of there was some drama there.
God damn.
Who would like the next visitation?
Oh gosh.
I mean, if we just kind of want to go off the scene,
Mhm.
I could have a talk with Hattie.
Mhm.
I'm also resting because I'm a little anemic and slightly
Yes.
poisoned.
Yes.
Hattie's slowly recovering.
Yes.
So the people
Where
I've been
are
ushered
you?
out, probably still at the doctors and just kind of in the resting room, so to speak.
Mhm.
On two separate cots laid out beside. The doctor has stepped out for a moment to take some notes or go get
Mhm.
some fresh water or heat some water up for various medical things. And Hattie is coming to as Charles has been thinking for a while, having woken up earlier.
Charles? Where am I?
Morning, sister. How are you feeling?
Not fantastic. What's going on?
There is a palpable hesitation before he continues. Well, the deadline's coming up. Father was very clear in his will that if I'm not wed and not if I'm not with child, but my partner is not with child, then the business will go to you.
Right. I thought we agreed that even if it does go to me, you're going to take over.
I've been thinking about that, sister. And there's like that kind of like the kind of like a montage of sorts, but like there, if this was a comic, there'd be the shadowed figure of Charles like sitting forward in the bed with behind him like the various scenes with him and his spectral father of sorts, him getting outraged, him arguing with Hattie and all this like stuff. And there's like all these panels are connected to him with these spectral chains. And then like
I'm so sorry.
just,
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Yusai. I feel like there's something there. Your shirt. Yeah, you've got a monologue token on there
oh, okay.
from me to you.
All right. And then if this was a play, Charles would
Mhm.
step out of the bed.
Mhm.
The scene would grow dark as he steps forward and addresses the audience.
Mm.
How does one lose a sister? When the specter of death enters the stage and whisks her away without a moment's thought. When the truth of the sins of the past that bind us together are broken asunder by the truth of light of day. No, one loses a sister when one throws her away, throws away all those shared moments, those memories, the sordid pasts of misdemeanor crimes we hold deep in our hearts as children, the tender moments of shared grief, the calm summer days, the cold winter nights, of whispering of dreams and the chatterings of nightmares, when tears are held back only for the briefest of times until we can let them free to those we know we can trust. One only loses a sister when one gives her away, and I most certainly will not.
I'm sorry. That was amazing. That
So
was so
amazing.
fucking good.
So good. So good.
Thanks. I can
Like,
ramble.
We need to clip this.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not on my computer. I'm on my computer, but I can't hit the clip button, the mark button. Hit the mark button, somebody. Mark it.
Oh, you're all too kind. Returning to this scene, Charles turns to Hattie as a stage. He gets back into bed,
Yeah.
flips the covers for a little humor to disperse the serious moment. As he turns to Hattie and says, I've been thinking. I've spent a good deal of my life and yours trying to live up to our family's name, trying to repair our family's name. And maybe that's the problem, Hattie. Let's say we just let it die. No more worrying about this Chumley thing. We can start over. Just Hattie and Charles. Of course, it'd be stupid to throw away the connections, the money, the people we've met along the way, but I mean, how long has it been since someone's asked about our dad or remarked about the memories of him? As much as I wanted to clear his name, he wasn't the most likable character, I have to admit. But,
No.
but this is our lives. It's not his. Maybe it's best if we start over while we still can.
What brought this about?
Charles just smiles. He does know that other people are aware of the fact that
But she isn't.
she isn't my actual sister.
Mm-hmm. But she is not aware yet.
Yes, but people talk, and it's a small town.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to keep it hidden. He wants to keep this relationship as it is, a cherished sibling relationship. Someone he's always he had doubts at first, but it's an ironclad bond.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But he worries that revealing the truth will weaken it. But he knows if he doesn't tell her, she'll eventually learn about it one way or the other. And so if someone has to take that first swing at the chain, it might as well be him.
Mm-hmm.
He turns on the bed, his legs dangle over the sides. He still looks a little pale, but nowhere near as you, Hattie. And he says softly, well, glad you can't run away, because I have quite the story to tell you. And it's probably best if you sit and listen till I get to the end of it.
Well, I am laying in bed, so Fire away.
And I will recount the information I've learned.
I think at the end, Hattie, this is like the second bomb Hattie's been dropped in like 48 hours.
Mhm.
Was the first one poison?
No, technically the first one was the Braselton insurance
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So third bomb.
Hattie's really bad, no good, very bad day.
Right? Pardon my language, but I don't give a shit what any birth certificate says. You're my brother, and you never will not be. Whether or not it's true, it changes nothing for us.
Charles smiles as his eyes move up towards your head, where he has affixed a nurse's hat on your head before you woke up.
Yep, absolutely.
Which I think gives us our last visitation, which is
Me.
Violet and
Yeah.
Captain John James.
Yeah, I want to visit
having
with
a-
Captain John James, who reminds me
Yes.
of my
Uh-huh.
tragic lost love.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
After which I swore I would never love again.
Because he died tragically in the Thames.
It was so tragic and I'm a little melodramatic, so you know.
That's what your husband says. Oh,
Yeah.
because you're married. Go on.
Yes. Yeah. So
I'll outlive the guy.
you hope. One really hopes.
Is that a threat?
No, I'm just saying old people.
I'm just saying he
surprise
is a
you.
murderer. I mean, that's the rumor at least.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
rumor.
Yeah, I think Violet's just gonna after like imagine we leave after the blood transfusion is underway. Like Charles has got this.
Have you left your coat inside?
Oh, 112%. That was to keep Hattie warm because she was very pale and it is very cold.
Mhm.
And I think it's only after we get back outside that I realize how cold it actually is outside. Because imagine this was not a quick process. This was probably a few hours. So it's probably getting closer to dinner time, closer to evening now.
I think if the scene starts with Violet shivering outside the doctor's office, definitely roll on. Well, Captain James
Oh.
will take off his army coat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those, like the World War I, like long sort of trench coat.
Except like a century before that, but yes.
Yeah, it would be. No, but I'm trying to. There's a.
It's
like a
It's not a
peacoat.
right. Yeah, it's not a riding coat, but it's
like-
sort of.
It's like a pea coat almost, yeah. Very long, made of wool.
Longer than a pea coat.
Okay.
Because I
Like
think the
Like
pea
a
coat.
walking coat. Those were things.
Yes. Yes.
Like a walking coat.
Yeah, because the pea coat has like the tail on it.
Yeah.
Whereas his is very much a dang it. Imagine a riding coat. Like I
Okay.
have the French name, it's a redingote, but it's actually oh god. Yeah. It's a lot of people will have seen stuff like that. I'll put it in our Discord just so I can get it out of my head. But it's something like this because it's from America. So it's like an
Right.
18th
It's a coat from
century
America. Sorry. Thank you, Trooper.
like cowboy long coat,
Yeah.
Yep. Like a duster.
like a dust. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. A
Yes.
duster.
A winter duster. Yeah. Okay. Do you say anything or do you just wrap it around her?
Are you cold, Lady Braselton? And
Oh,
that's as he takes off his coat.
yes, but I don't live far. It'll be fine. I'm so sorry. This whole thing has been quite Dramatic, I don't believe we've formally met. Lady Violet Brasselton, and you are...
There's a very minute hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
But he replies, Captain James, ma'am.
Oh, Captain James. Apologies, my rude in familiarity with you earlier. You just remind me of someone that I used to know.
Perhaps who was that person?
He was an actor.
Oh,
French actor.
were you close?
Formality says no. So then you'll see her hesitate. Well, I mean, not improperly close, goodness, no, but it's quite talented as stagecraft. It's very entertaining to see. Little color, look away, awkward. Yeah. Like, I can't let people know how much I was in love.
Secret fiance.
Secret fiance, yep.
And that person, they I assume by your reaction they passed away.
Yes, they tragically died. Fell into the Thames, I believe. It's very sad. So many people die that way every year. You really think they'd do something about it?
Put on some guardrail or something.
Something. Yes. Thank you very much, by the way, for assisting with Mrs. Altringham. I believe she was poisoned.
I thought her name was Miss Sedgwick.
She hasn't gone by Miss Sedgwick in a few years. She had married Mr. Sir Leslie Altringham. Have you visited Bardon Mill previously, sir?
No, I've just been here 2 days. I arrived at the unfortunate funeral of your father.
Oh, yes, quite unfortunate that. But what brings you to Bardon Mill?
Out of character question. Is there anyone around?
That depends. If there's somebody who wants me around who should not be around, that would be a resolve token.
Because I mean, I'm willing to put down one of my resolve token to make sure that there's nobody around.
Fair.
Is it my resolve token?
Don't you have to accept a resolve token in order for that to work? So you can just refuse.
You can just refuse. So you can just
that's true. That's true. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if somebody needs to overhear a conversation they don't want to be, they should not be overhearing, that would be.
Thankfully, there's two people who are in a bed in a doctor's office right now.
Yeah, but everybody's got a connection character.
They do. We totally.
Any of whom could be lurking.
Well, so long as they. Oh. Okay.
Can I?
Yes.
Does it have to be one of my connections?
Say more.
Say more.
I'd like Dead Dad to overhear this somehow.
Which dead? Who's dead dad?
We have two dead dads.
So many.
My dead dad.
Okay.
So many undead.
The Chumley dead dad.
Chumley dead
Chumley
dad.
dead dad.
More fuel for the Brasselton fire.
Well, the thing is, I don't have a resolve token left.
That's true. All
okay.
out.
But what tags are on the table? Or rumors and scandal. By the way, everybody, I'm going to ask you when we're all done with this, if anybody had a pivotal moment, because I feel like maybe somebody did. I'm just going to ask that.
Well, depending on how the scene is going, I might as well.
Yeah.
You know what?
I don't
do
have
not
any
think there are
negative
any-
tags at the moment.
You
Oh,
know
please.
who annoying hasn't showed up in quite a while? That might be
Who?
fun to be here in the
Who?
in the background. Lord
Nope.
Edmund Giles.
Oh, Lord Jills.
Jills.
Ooh. Yes.
Ugh.
Yes.
No.
Yes. And he's
No.
got 2 resolve tokens.
No.
Lord Edmund Jill would
Ugh.
like to spend a resolve token to overhear this.
No.
You can say no if you don't want
can
to.
say no?
I say no. But I feel like it's up to Simon as well.
Lord Edmund Gills.
Lord Boar Hunter.
Mm-hmm. I hunted that boar myself, as a matter of fact.
Oh.
I think I yes, because I think at some point Roland is gonna have to sort of, there needs to be some sort of fight or a duel for the
Yes.
girl. Like it has to happen.
You don't want to fight my husband? He's only like 70 something.
Well, Roland would like to fight your husband, but
Yeah.
apparently he's gonna have to fight a fit 27-year-old boar hunter.
Yes.
72-year-old man.
Yes.
Sorry,
Who is going,
71.
who's
going
to
on
be
72.
he's going to be hearing this conversation. Go on, continue on. Thank you, Nugget, by the way. I appreciate that very much.
Okay, where were we?
That's it, like reveal secrets.
Oh yes,
Yes.
I asked what brought you into town.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's what it was.
So he looks around and does not see anyone. And says,
It's cold. It's winter.
yeah, I know. And there's and the
Cold.
sun is setting.
Yeah.
It's winter in northern UK.
Yeah.
Sun probably sets at around like what, 5:30? Maybe
Yes.
even
4.
before that if we're around
Yeah.
December.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're around December, it's like 4:30. So he looks around, doesn't see anyone. He says, I actually came for you.
For me, Captain James.
Yeah, it's a might complicated story, I guess. I wanted the circumstances to be different.
Yes, I imagine my father's funeral would not be ideal circumstances.
Well, yeah, no, and the plan that I had sort of hinged upon your father being still alive.
I did see that you had some correspondence with him.
Yes, all part of the plan. Something laid out, one could say 4 years ago.
Turn her head, like, tilt her head a bit.
Remember, he now has like a cool scar.
Yeah. And
He's got that rugged
I feel like-
sort of look.
And I feel like this would be a good opportunity to spend a resolve token to discern your secret identity, Captain John W. James.
I will definitely take it, accept
There
it.
you go. You are. That's a resolve
Mhm.
token. And
Thank
I
you so
think,
much.
I think Violet just stops dead in her tracks and hands go up, like in a moment of realization, with mentions of the plan and
Uh-huh.
4 years
Mhm.
ago.
Please don't faint. He gets, step closer. Yes, it is I. I told you I would be back for you.
But you died. I thought. And
I had
think
to.
before he can fully answer, she turns and runs back home.
I use
in
my
the snow.
monologue token. There are other people here who have not. I'm just going to say that right now.
I want to use my token to hear
That monologue token. Thank you.
that monologue. Yeah. Like,
Mhm.
Please, Violet, what's going on through your mind as you run away?
What's going through Violet's mind as she runs away? Heartbreak, betrayal, hope, joy, sadness. There's a lot of mixed feelings going on inside of Violet right now. And for this monologue, I think we need a little bit of a flashback to when she got the news that Roland had died. We saw that she was devastated, heartbroken with that weather interlude we had, but what we didn't see was her plans for the future regarding that news. When she got the news that her love, the man she loved the most, Roland, had died, she swore that she would never love again. Which is one of the reasons why she didn't marry Lord Edmund Gilles. That's why she married an older man, because Lord Edmund Gilles was still young. He still had a life ahead of him. He deserved to have an opportunity to have someone who could reciprocate affection or love or feelings in return. And so she, being a typical Regency lass, decided to double down on her feelings of despair and instead went for a completely loveless marriage. Because she would never love again. Roland was dead. That secret engagement, that passionate, fiery love. And now, here he is, years later, posing as Captain John W. James, who had written her father, but not her. Faked his death and not told her. It hurts. She's so happy that he is not dead. But oh, it does hurt. Why didn't he tell her? Could have written something, anything, in code. There were so many little jokes, little inside things that only the two of them knew about each other, could have known in correspondence, but he didn't write her. He didn't tell her anything, and thus she's married someone else now. And so she goes back to that house where she's going to rethink things and have a very, very long cry because also Hattie got poisoned and it's all terrible. And who was the poison destined for? I don't know. People are just getting. Is it safe to eat food at her house? She doesn't know. Maybe she'll just poison herself and divide this life. She doesn't know. She's very emotional right now. That's a jumble of thoughts that just kind of comes. But that's her monologue. She's very hurt, but also elated. Sad.
My friends, that is the end of our novel phase, and I'm going to ask if anybody had any pivotal moments, because I need to ask if anyone had any pivotal moments.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I'm pretty sure all of us might have.
If you had a pivotal moment, please take a fortune token, and then I need to know.
I need to be reminded about pivotal moments again.
So if something happens, either you are present or not present, that you think could change the fortune of your character long term, then that is a pivotal moment. And if there is a pivotal moment that happens, then you must foretell a fortune, something that you think may happen in the future.
Nothing for now.
Charles, did you have a pivotal moment today?
I did indeed.
Please take that fortune point and tell me, give me your changing fortune. What would you say?
So this is a rumor aspect, correct?
Well, it's technically a fortune rather than a rumor, but it's the thing that you think might come to pass because of this. It may not, right? But it functions as a rumor. But what do you think might come to pass because of this moment?
Something dour, something happy.
Could be anything.
Could be anything. Why do I have to go first? Damn it. Okay. We'll just go with what I thought first. That Charles will leave. What's this place called again? Hexhamshire?
Bardon Mill.
Bardon Mill.
Mm-hmm.
Charles will leave Bardon Mill never to return.
Ooh.
Whether that's in shame, for fortune, for personal reasons, who can say? But it feels like his ties with this town are being cut as the years go on.
Ooh, all right. Because we're going in reverse order. Hattie, did you have a pivotal moment today?
She did. finding out that her brother's not biologically related to her,
Mhm.
but she don't give a shit.
Mhm.
So the fortune for that, I would like to be that
It may or may not
Had-
happen. We don't know. We'll find out.
right. Hattie and Charles
Mhm.
will rebrand the company
Ah.
and essentially like create their own empire.
Oh, nice. That's a good fortune.
We'll make a haberdashery and sell amazing hats.
Right? Just the best hats.
Look, hats are
Um,
super in for the next 100 years. You're set.
Absolutely.
It's true. Violet, did you have a pivotal moment?
Yeah.
Take a fortune point
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
and give me a fortune that may come to pass long term.
Ooh, long-term fortune that may come to pass.
Or, something that, like, i.e., not next week,
Yeah. Violet will believe in love again.
Oh, okay. So, do you know what that means right now?
More to the next
It's the
phase.
It's the reputation phase.
Oh boy.
Yeah, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And I would like to start. I'd like to start with Roland John James. Let's have a discussion about whether or not you got any positive or negative reputation tags this time around. Yeah, so you are foreign. So you would get a positive tag if you acted in the service of duty or morality in a way that compromised your desires, acted in obedience of society's conventions despite considerable hardship in doing so, or made a sacrifice or denied your own desires to uphold the values of your place of origin.
So far, nothing.
I did not think so. How about negative reputation tags?
That's I think is the gist of Roland as a character is he doesn't get positive shit.
He might at some point in time. There's growth, right? What condition do you think triggered a negative reputation tag for you?
You can grow through negative tags. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you can. It is true.
Did I act in contravention to society's conventions? Fuck yes, I did.
You did.
I actually openly gave my coat to a married woman without
Yes,
a
you
chaperone.
Did. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
All in
Even
public.
though it was to, not let her die of hypothermia, but sure. So that definitely will get me a negative tag.
And
Um,
you got to desire.
Acted on a desire in a way to compromise my duty or morality. So,
Not your personal morality, but society's morality.
okay, thank you. Because I was going to say, acted on a desire that compromised his morality. His morality is to act on desire. He's an impulsive, passionate man.
Yeah, that would be a negative
Yeah,
reputation tag.
No, but definitely, that's 2 negative tags for me. And then
Just one.
Just one,
one.
but you definitely checked multiple boxes for that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Acted in a way that would shame or embarrass your place of origin. No, there is nothing I can do in Great Britain that would shame or embarrass the fact that he's an American.
That is fair.
Very little.
I mean, yes. So what negative reputation tag do you get out of this?
My God, I mean, it's got to be something like
Currently pretentious and violent. Pretentious and a violent lout.
No, you're gonna get a third tag.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I know.
No.
Yes, he is.
I know.
So excited.
I think, okay, wait. So he's been according to Edwardian customs, he's too forthcoming with a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And so that makes him, he's essentially, I'm a rake. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You are a rake.
I am
You're
raking
it's autumn
leaves.
time, baby.
Yeah.
Let's
So
go rake those leaves.
Let me ask you, since you now have 3 negative reputation tags,
Mm.
No.
which, yes.
No.
Yes. Which of your two reputation conditions would you like to have? Great offense. Your actions are offensive to someone of local importance, and they mean to make it known publicly, and I know who that could be. Or fracture. Someone close to you is appalled by your behavior and refuses to talk to you. Both of those work. Which one would you like?
Shit, what was the first one again?
Great offense. Your actions are offensive to someone of local importance, and they mean to make it known publicly. Or
No,
fracture.
you know what?
Someone...
It's gonna be this one. Because I want to keep the door open to be able to talk to Violet again.
You'd have to get rid of that negative reputation tag, then she would talk to you again. But you know,
Well, look, yeah, no, it's definitely Lord Edmund Gills.
Oh yes, great offense. Lord Edmund Gills has.
I have offended him. I have offended him, and he's offended on behalf of Lord
Rafferty.
whatever
Rafferty.
17. Yeah, Rafferty.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like,
a whole bunch of ways.
Well, it's because he figures. I think in Roland's mind, anyway, is going to be, Gilles is offended on behalf of Rafferty because he wants to appear like the good white knight and try to steal Violet in the end.
Absolutely.
Anyway. Because I mean, Violet is an object to be stolen. She's not a person.
Yeah. Also one with a lot of money. So, but he doesn't need it because he's like, speaking of Violet, how about you? How's your reputation?
Oh, that's a great question.
I have a question about it.
Let's look at the things that might gain me tags. Gain a positive tag if you acted in the service of duty or morality in a way that compromised your desires. I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
Acted in obedience to society's conventions despite considerable hardship in doing so. No. Made a sacrifice or denied your desires to uphold the superiority of your rank. I don't think so.
No.
Gain a negative tag if you acted in contravention of society's conventions. Acted on a desire in a way that compromised your duty or morality. Or allowed others of lesser rank to talk down to you or treat you as an inferior.
Do you want to say something?
I definitely did run off with a coat, crying into the night.
Yeah.
That would probably not be well looked upon.
No. What negative reputation tag would you like?
That is an excellent question. Oh, you know what? I feel like
In public, go ahead.
In public,
Go ahead.
I feel like either suspicious.
Yes.
Or unfaithful. But I think suspicious works best because it could go so many ways.
Yes. Suspicious, it is done. Charles.
Here and ready.
All right, then.
Gain a positive tag if you acted in the service of duty or morality in a way that compromised your desires. Not yet. This next one, though, I think applies. Acted in obedience to society's conventions despite considerable hardship in doing so. As a brother figure, at least. I put my life on the line for my sister.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And denied your desires or made a sacrifice to uphold the family name. That's a little wishy-washy now, considering the situation, but I don't think that really applies. Gain a negative tag if you acted in contravention of society's conventions. This may apply as well, because technically we aren't blood related. So it's a weird place where I am your brother, but I'm not actually your brother. So I think this might also apply.
Yeah.
And there are two others, but I don't think either applies. Shamed or embarrassed the family name. Which one? Act on desire in a way that compromised your duty or morality. Not really. Charles kind of does what he wants right now. He hasn't had to bite his tongue yet.
In which case, one of each?
One of each, I think. So for positive tags, let's see. This was gained for taking a large risk on behalf of someone I cared about.
That's right.
So perhaps something like, gosh, all the coffee in the world, my brain isn't running super good right now.
Selfless.
Which is effectively the one of my inner conflicts.
Yes, it is. That's really good, actually. Right?
Yeah, we can go selfless.
Or brave.
Though I do already have self-control. Well, no, selfless
That's-
and self-control aren't the same.
are different,
thing,
yeah.
Yeah.
You could put, and what about your negative?
Negative. Let's
Mm.
see. That I got because technically I did act rashly.
Mhm.
Well, perhaps rashly, but I think improper might be good.
Improper. That's good in many ways, which leads us to good old Hattie.
Yes. So, acted in service of duty or morality in a way that compromised your desires. I don't think so. Acted in obedience to society's conventions despite considerable hardship in doing so. Made a sacrifice or denied your desires to uphold the superiority of your rank. No.
Negative.
Negative. Acted in contravention of society's conventions. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Acted on desire in a way that compromised your duty or morality. I don't think so either.
Maybe.
And then maybe.
Maybe. You said screw it to like all of your family stuff to stand by your brother, who's not even really your brother,
Yeah, that's true.
who's actually, not really your brother. I'm just saying
Right.
that seems a little
That is-
screw
those-
society's conventions.
That's very yeah. Okay. I'll agree with that. That's
So it's probably with the first one more than the second, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Allowed lesser to talk to or treat to me inferior. No.
so what you got for that
What
negative
do I
tag?
have? God, I don't know. What's a good one?
Hmm.
This is difficult. I don't know. I don't know what.
You're getting it because you treat me as a brother, even though we're not related, right?
Right.
Right, so-
Regardless of what people say about it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, he's a bastard and you don't care.
You want the tag as if people were going to assign it to you?
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's positive and it's like, look
It's
at
a
how.
negative.
Oh,
It's
it's
a
a negative. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. I
Yeah.
thought positive for a second.
Mm.
Negative
Perhaps
Oh, it-
naive.
forgets her place in society?
Mm.
Because you should disavow your brother right
Mhm.
away.
Mhm.
He's not
Right.
even your brother. Like, what are you
Yeah,
doing?
Yeah.
Right. He's
Which-
not even technically a bastard. Like
Yeah.
in my family.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But I'm sure there's a better way to put that.
I like
So-
something like, because there's something about like when you're like, I don't give a shit. I was like, ooh,
Like fuck it.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like I need
Yeah.
a good negative reputation tag for fuck it.
Right.
Why don't we just put in fuck it?
Can I just put fuck it?
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's,
do
I
it,
feel
do
like
it.
that's the best descriptor for fuck it.
Yes. Yes. Hmm. That said, we have no rumors and scandals, but we do have passage of time. Ooh, Rissa asks, can independent be a negative tag? Or rebellious or don't make care? Absolutely, all three of those can be negative. It's the Regency. It's
Mm-hmm.
1816. All of those are negative if you are a woman. Absolutely, of means. So let me ask, as we move to our next phase, the passage of time, we have some things to I have to ask the first question, which is how much time passes?
I personally, I feel like there's a lot going on right now that is unresolved.
Mhm.
My preference would be not a lot of time.
Okay.
Yeah, I can.
Maybe
Um,
like what are you thinking?
what
a
if-
week? Month?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
a
what if we're snowed in for a time, and that's our
Oh.
time skip?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So like 3 or 4 months, perhaps.
Yeah.
That give time for a famine to happen.
Yes.
Yeah, basically we
Springtime.
we come back at spring.
Mm-hmm.
Food stocks are running low, and the carts thought we would get laden with food. Reserves are barren.
And
our
the spring is
stomachs.
particularly still pretty wintry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it gets supposed to be spring, but it's not.
But the ground's still too hard to plow, and
Yep. Yep. I like it. And so in which case, everyone can have one scene, one vignette to describe what has happened in this interim moment. So you may have a weather interlude. You may have a scene or a vignette about a rumor coming true, including a changing fortune. You may have a scene or vignette about your character's inner conflict, or you may pay a resolve token to have a scene or vignette about something else of your own choosing. I'll go first.
Okay.
It's a scene where Lord Edmund Gills is kneeling before the Duke of Northumberland. As the Duke takes the ceremonial sword and puts on each side of his shoulders as he is named the new Lord High Sheriff. Y'all were too slow. You snooze, you lose.
My sister was dying.
Well, you know what? Maybe if you had better priorities, rather than helping your sister not die, you too could be Lord High Sheriff. That's my one.
There was no way I could have become one anyway, so
You're a foreigner.
Yeah.
whatever.
We're not gonna make the American sheriff.
But Leslie could have been sheriff.
Leslie could have been sheriff. That is
But
true.
sheriff.
Mhm, mhm.
Can I do a fortune coming true?
Yes, you can. By the way, I will say this, that you can also spend a fortune point later to change like a connection character's circumstances. So there's
Okay.
also that.
Okay.
Please.
So it's a scene where you see it's storming, snow outside, like whiteout kind of blizzard. Hattie is sitting in her private study that she uses to work on the business. And it's late at night, maybe like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and she has just a slew of papers around her and a quill, and she is just writing and scratching something out, and then she writes something again and scratches something out and balls up the paper and tosses it into the fire, and this just keeps going over and over until finally she lifts up her paper and you see that it is the Way Sedgwick Enterprise.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That fortune is now crossed out because it has come to pass.
Nothing's
This
been
will be-
signed yet, but it's in the
But-
process.
Yes.
Yes.
And we will have that as our basically it is coming true.
Oh,
Right,
she put
we
way in
see
front
that.
of Sedgwick.
I was gonna do Sedgwick Way, but then it sounds like it's the Sedgwick's Way.
Yeah.
So Way
Yeah.
Sedgwick.
Mhm. Who's next?
I can go.
Please.
You see the first breakings. The snow is melting a bit. There's only a light frost, but it's near to the end of the time has passed. Yet the effects of the lack of food are evident. Tables lay mostly barren, and we see proclamations from the new Lord High Sheriff Giles that further rationing must occur if we are to survive this harsh winter and into the spring, and that help is assumedly on its way. It's not. And even us, the upper crust of the old money, the new money, and the like, are feeling its effects. And while we are uncomfortable, only God will tell us how those lower than us are faring, and what they will do to rectify the situation if pushed too far.
And how do we see Charles in this moment?
Charles is portioning out a very dry piece of turkey. It's him, and he has the young he's portioned out a take-home package for his young worker, who's Samuel, I believe. Yes.
Yeah.
And as he's portioned that portion away so Samuel can take it home and share it with his mother, he looks to what's left and he cuts a slice, and then he judges the sizes and he puts the bigger piece for his daughter Jennifer. And as she gets to the table, he pretends he's already started, so she doesn't suspect that she's been given a lot more than he has.
We have Violet and Roland, or James, for a passage of time interlude.
I'm thinking. No, I'm not thinking yet. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay, do you want me to go first?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So I'm thinking I would like a weather interlude.
Describe it.
I think it's going to be.
And do you have a cold still?
Huh?
Do you have a cold still in this interlude?
Oh yes.
Go
Most definitely.
I figured as much. Go on.
This is an overcast interlude. Violet is deeply troubled that her friend got poisoned at tea at her house. And she said she was going to search every inch of this house when she could, as she could, during that time. During this process, she's going through places. She's not going through very quickly because she's a bit of a head cold, not feeling terribly well.
Yes.
But she's going through a section of the study that she hasn't really been in much, in the, not her father's study, but the main library area, that where her husband has pretty much taken over since he's come to be here. And this is also ties into some of those rumors. She finds.
Are you activating that rumor?
Oh yes, if I can. It's already active. I'm just gonna keep it spread. She finds detailed, oddly specific information about his previous 5 wives and how they died.
Oh.
She finds a troubling book.
Oh.
And she doesn't hear him come into the room when she's looking at this troubling book because she's got a head cold.
Oh no!
And he tells her that she really must not be feeling well and has her confined to bed rest until she feels better.
Oh no! Delicious.
And everyone tells everyone that she's just really not feeling well.
Simon.
I thought that would be good.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
I think so. It would probably be a scene, I guess. With Roland would not have waited long to try to see Violet again. And I think this scene is just a montage of every attempt he's made that have failed.
Tell me.
So
give it to us.
Yes.
Just these failures.
So we're gonna have one where he waits until nightfall during like a snowstorm. He thinks, he's gonna go up to her bedroom window. I don't know, throw a snowball on it or something. But he gets lost in the storm and ends up, almost frostbitten, having to spend the night at like that one place where the 5 peasants are always getting drunk. Then you have another attempt in which he makes his way toward the estate, but then crosses path with Edmund Gills or at least sees him from afar, just like staring, and he, turns around. There's another moment where, because it's one thing to be snowed in, but you're not constantly inside of a building and never coming out. There's a minimum amount of travel that might be possible. The thing is if you're one of the only few, since we're like 700, if you're one of the only 20 people that come out, 500 is even worse. At some point, tracks in the snow are gonna always lead to the same place, and he had to calm down and wait out for his tracks to be hidden again, because there were a lot of tracks going from the Chumley estate towards the Renfrey, Rafferty's estate.
No, it's still
Brazelton
the Brazelton estate.
Okay, it's still the Brazelton.
Yeah,
he married into her family. So to the Brazelton estate. There's a moment where
does he see bars that have been newly installed on her windows?
I think that's one of the other failure at some point is the bars, but it's one of the last ones. There was one I wanted before that where he thinks he saw her outside and he rushed out, only to realize that because he only saw her from far away, back was turned, but it ended up being Lady Faith Jills.
Ooh.
That he sort of ran after and then realized, oh shit. And then,
but I'm sure she needs aid. I'm sure Lady Faith Jills did of some sort, because she's out in the snow. She probably needs some help.
Yes, I think she was walking actually with her husband, but the husband was temporarily back inside the home to go get something.
No, she's not married yet.
Oh,
she's younger than me.
My bad. No, but I thought she was married anyway.
No, she's not.
I didn't have a description. That's why I.
She's the most eligible bachelorette.
Oh my god!
In town,
she is the most eligible bachelorette in town.
That is even. Okay, let me note something on my sheet in my comments.
And her brother hates you ever so much. But she thinks you're quite lovely.
She would, wouldn't she?
Yeah, I'm leaving a note for next week so that I have to have a scene where I encounter Lady Faith again.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And then the last one is he finally near the spring, he finally gets to the Brazelton estate and he knocks on the door and is being told that Violet is sick. And that she cannot see anyone. I think she's bedridden. She's been bedridden for 4 months. Can I use one of my negative traits?
Absolutely. To have what happen? What terrible thing will happen because of this?
He does not believe for a second that she's actually sick. You wouldn't put bars on an upper story window for a sick person not to leave. There's definitely something wrong. And with the circumstances of, when he told her the secret and not being able to speak afterwards, he's kind of on edge. He's been on edge for 3-4 months. And when the butler or whoever told them that, it was impossible. Oh, it's Rafferty himself?
Oh yes.
Because the action's not going to change.
Nice.
I am going to use my violent lout tag, and I am going to punch him.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay, go.
Can we get a yes and here? And we're gonna have Nugget involved in this one because Nugget's playing Rafferty. How about if you kill him? You don't mean to, but he's 71 years old.
Jesus Christ. Okay. My thing was I was punching the butler, trying to get in, and the rest of the servant were they managed to push me out. Like I
Mhm.
never got farther than the foyer. But to leave Rafferty dead
What the
after
spice?
this, oh no, I'm all for it. I think this is what happens: is I punch him in the face, and
He has a
I
heart
rush
attack.
Yeah.
past.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone, they got me, punch him in the throat. I like that. They sort of grab me, pull
The
me
old
out
windbags,
as I
windpiping,
scream
what it
for
used to be.
Violet.
Mhm.
As I scream for Violet.
My door's
And
locked. I can't get out.
no, but you probably hear my voice.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I'm willing to
Yeah.
spend a token for that.
No, that I feel like you're absolutely.
Oh yeah, and it's like Rocky 1 yelling like
Yeah.
Ooh.
Violet. Violet!
Other Doc
and,
knows that when you punch him, he hits his temple on the bottommost stair.
Ooh, yeah. Like, or like,
Can I-
there's so many furniture with sharp corners and like gargoyles and shit. You just
Oh, yeah.
right into like
oh
the
yeah.
china cabinet.
Oh, yeah.
or whatever.
Nugget?
Yeah.
Can I add something as Lord Rafferty?
Please.
So he falls, right? Hits his
Yeah.
head. He doesn't like instantly die.
No.
He's able to grab his man, his
servant.
servant, yes,
His valet.
and he brings him in close, and he's like, burn them. And his man knows exactly what he's talking about. Any documents,
Nice,
any of his
nice,
diaries, anything
nice.
like that.
Nice.
I would like to add that,
Nice.
please. This is what you guys get for killing all my old guys.
We'll get you another old guy. Don't worry.
Perfect.
The servant misinterprets it and starts like burning, like
Burning the
arson,
house.
burning the homes. We wake up in flames.
Oh, okay.
There's when you said that, Nugget, all I had was the like the crescendo of the song in Game of Thrones where
Oh.
the temple's about to
Oh
explode.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask. We get one more round of
Can I spend a resolve token locked in my room?
Sure. Do you need one? Do you need to spend one?
I don't know. I just know that my lady's maid, who's been very loyal for years,
Yes,
probably wouldn't
yes.
let shifty Rafferty Butler burn everything without her getting her hands on something.
That's a resolve token. Yes, indeed, it is.
Yeah,
Yes, it is. But actually, she has a resolve token.
she does.
So she can spend hers
Okay.
to get, to save a couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not your scene, though.
No. I just felt like
Oh,
it
yeah.
should be mentioned.
Yes, and as well it should. Write it down. Mm-hmm. What's next? I get to go.
Oh, your violent lout tag goes away because you used it, Simon.
Yes, you did.
Oh, okay,
Um,
so I can remove it.
Yep.
Yes, you can.
So you're
'cause
back
you
down
used
to
it.
2. Yay.
Yes, because you just did some exciting things.
Yes,
I-
but the rake thing happens nonetheless, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But you're going to be able to sort of get rid of that thing. But I would like to use Lord Edmund Gill's resolve token.
Oh.
If you would accept it, to have him have a scene where he detains and arrests our Captain James. You'll be in, you're not going anywhere because it's Bardon Mill, but you're basically going to be, and I think when we wake in the next moment, right? Like I think sort of near the end of our thing, you'll have been apprehended for questioning. How do you?
I
feel?
will yes end this.
Yes, and me.
Okay.
He's going to arrest you.
Yes, and 2 things.
Please.
So
And
there
take that resolve
is.
token, by the way.
Thank you. There is one cell.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
a
Yes.
It's not even inside of a building.
Yes.
I imagine it's like a shed with a cell inside and there's probably a little room for like 2 people to stand in front of the cell. Like you're not supposed to
Yeah,
keep someone in here.
Yeah.
And if
yeah.
they needed to,
Like I actually imagine it being like a small, not really a shed, but like like an outbuilding, like a like
Yeah.
like
Like a
stone
workshop or
building.
something. Yeah.
a stone building with
yes, like a stone building that like in a different place would be like where you would have your gardener stay. You know what I mean? Like it'd be like it's like a little mini house, like an in-law house. You know what I mean? Like a little stone building that probably has got like a cell maybe, and then like a desk for like the jailer who might come in and out. Like, but like a pretty small.
like something. Yeah, because they don't hold
people.
trials here anyway.
Yeah.
You would be moved to like the nearest biggest city.
Yeah.
So I want this because I want him to be miserable, with the cold and
But this is
the
also the cell that our Daddy Chumley was in.
Please, let's not call him Daddy Chumley if we can. Let's.
No
sorry.
daddies here.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
and and my second end is I want the scene to end on the shadow of a woman opening the door.
Yes.
I want the woman to either be Faith or somehow Violet. And I don't want to know the answer before the scene next week.
Okay.
I let all of you decide. Keep me in the dark.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? No, we'll do one better.
Yeah.
Hattie, Faith, or Violet.
Yes. Okay. It'll be a
And
resolve token, by the way.
I already took the resolve token.
No. To be the one who shows up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Because that's some resolve right there. Is what that has to be.
And I don't know if they're coming to save me. I don't know if they're coming to pity me. They might be coming to murder me.
Who knows?
But this is how the scene ends, right? The door swings open. There's like a gust of wind. The lantern outside is like swaying madly in the wind, and there's just this shadow of a woman. Well, we know woman, let's say, because of like the skirt, or it's a very angry Scotsman that came down from beyond Adrian's wall. Like,
I will say there are a couple of other women who it could be, by the way.
Yes, but I would like to be one of those 3.
It's good. We will discuss resolve tokens afterwards. Other scenes for your passage of time.
I like how that was just the first round of passage of time scenes. I know
that's his second, so we have 3 more.
Okay.
That's his second.
Okay, that's true.
We have weather interludes.
And it doesn't have to be for us, right? It can be one of the characters that we play.
That is correct.
Okay. I have a scene then, because I imagine, Violet, she spent a lot of time locked up in her room. She didn't have a lot, and she was only sick for like the first week out of those few months.
Yep.
Imagine we're gonna do that in the live time, go through all that shenanigans and murder trial stuff. So we're gonna
come back after the arrest. So this is where we're gonna come back into it. Yep.
So I would love to be dear little Jennifer Chumley.
Yes.
Jennifer Chumley is going to have. Let's see. I don't think we have any rumors with Jennifer. She's going to have a little weather interlude.
Oh.
It'll be either like day, dawn, early, mid-morning. She's going to be doing her normal daily chores, things that she must do. She's probably running an errand, actually, to go into the town to pick up something for her Aunt Harriet. And she is going to see Samuel Crafton. He is doing something that Charles has sent him on the way for. And it's not all that impressive, but for, a 9-year-old girl, it's like super impressive. He's like sending off mail or something. Yeah, I know. Like, send this to London, send this to this place. He's just like telling things, and she's like, wow, he's so cool. And she's just gonna, do that awkward, like, is this a crush? Thing thing of just staring at him for a little while, and then he's gonna notice she's staring at him. And then, to not be completely rude, she'll walk up to the post office with a letter that Hattie had probably told her to send, so she can send a letter too, and is just gonna feel all giddy inside because she's getting to stand so close to him. He's like really cute, and and they're doing the awkward like not look at each other, but they're looking at each other, and the postmaster is probably this really old person who's just like these youngsters, but it's just a charming little cute scene of the two of them being totally into each other, but not saying absolutely anything about it because they think the other totally couldn't be into them.
I'm afraid that would be, in terms of class, not really appropriate, though.
Oh yeah, that's why they're not saying anything. They're just like, oh, pleasant weather, yes, of course. That's a lot of stamps on that letter. Wow, okay. But the crushes.
Yeah.
New young love amongst all of this winter dreariness. We have a little spark of
Charles and also Hattie are left.
I have one.
Please.
Now, I'm not sure if this is a resolve token, a rumor, or something, but I'd love to get Anselm in the mix here since they have been snooping around a lot. But simply put, it is very much they are. We pivot from this last scene at the mailbox with the two young kids. The camera kind of pans and passes by the back of a house, and then we see it's much further on the day. The snow is coming down harsher, but the mail still gets through here and there. And we see Anselm with this big, thick coat on, and they have a stack of letters in their hand, and we see the names flash by. And effectively, Anselm is mailing missives to people of interest, those perhaps using the rumor of Rafferty having killed his former partners, mailing that Rafferty has been murdered, and perhaps the killer has been caught here, or perhaps knowing, because he just found a resolve token to know that the captain is actually Roland, mailing out to Roland's old people who would pay money to know that Roland was still alive and here in this town.
Ooh.
And effectively, he's just spreading out the word, sending out missives.
This sounds like this will mess up Roland a bit, which means that would be a resolve token that he would need to accept.
Yes, so Anselm is offering Roland a resolve token to get all of your sordid past, to know various characters from your past, to know that you are here in Bardon Mills. And he's expecting a hefty commission when they arrive.
Which means Enguerrand de Folk may not actually be no longer relevant.
No.
He may become relevant again, is what I'm trying to say.
We thought he was dead.
Oh, he's not dead. Do you accept this resolve token?
Sure. But I am now at 5 resolve tokens, so expect
The most
shit
resolve.
to
Some drama.
yeah. Expect shit to go my way.
The scene ends with Anselm kind of clasping his hands, breathing to keep them warm as they rub them together and say, "Always good for a meal ticket, Roland. Always good for a meal ticket."
Oh, ooh, nice.
I hate him already.
Addie.
Yes. So, kind of around the same time, towards the end of our passage of time, we see the Aldringham estate and the like one of the side doors, right? Hattie is standing there and she is talking very closely with the town doctor. Can't really hear what's being said. Nobody, there's no servants around, nobody's overhearing anything like that. And then she gives him a nod and thank you, doctor, it's very appreciated. And then he leaves.
Ooh.
And
That
that's
is
it.
so ominous.
That's it. That's all that happens.
That is so ominous. That is the most ominous ever, and I love it. I just want you to know, I'm like, oh, there's some murder going on there. There's some just gonna say
Something.
So, my friends, with that, we are going to end this session, which means we're going to pick up next week with our upkeep phase and our epistolary before we move on to the next cycle. And I just want to give a preview of what can happen in that upkeep phase. We adjust our ages, but we're not going far enough that we are going to sort of age, unless he has a birthday in the winter. Replace desires if that is relevant. Spend your
Yeah.
fortune points if that is relevant. And just to remind you, your fortune points can, change a character role or a family background, create a new connection, change a connection's fortune, or establish a relationship. Also, we're going to remove any outdated connections, allocate new connections to players because Nugget needs a new connection.
Yeah,
I feel
I'm
like,
sorry we keep
Give me a
killing
new old
them.
man.
or you could be Edmund Gills, as I'm just saying. Like,
Oh.
Wait.
Oh.
I mean, no one's playing Enguerrand yet.
oh, that's true, and he's also old.
That's very true.
I'm just old French guy. You know, right?
Yeah, how's your French?
Very bad.
Nice.
I love it.
And then I get more resolve tokens, of course, and then we deal with our inner conflicts. So that'll all be on our upkeep. And then we'll do our epistolary before we start with a very short fast forward to the end of the winter, which will never end, to find out what happens then. So I would like to go around, have everybody do their outros, and Lindy can officially do it. But in the outro moment, I would like to know, I would like you to give love and be like, what are you excited? What do you like? What do you think's going to happen? That's what I want to know.
Wonderful. All right, we'll start with you, Trooper. What do you think's gonna happen? How are you? Thank you for facilitating all this.
I was just here eating popcorn. I am Trooper SJP. This was lovely. And I'm so excited. You can find me, what is it? I'm going bike packing this weekend. So you can find me Thursday where I'm going to play a video game at my channel. But other than that, I'll be gone for the weekend. So you'll see me again next, actually, on Wednesday for more Upon the Hexhamshire Moors, where drama is going to happen. Absolutely. And what am I excited about? I'm most excited about, okay, here are the things I'm excited about. So there's been some murder. And there are some suspicious people with suspicious evidence. There's evidence in that house of different things going on, the Brazelton estate. I want to know how, like, what's going to happen with Captain James. I want to know what's going to happen now that Rafferty's dead, accidentally murdered. I want to know what this is going to mean for Violet. Also, I want to know how I want to know how the business is going to go. I want to know about like how Roland's going to get out of this prison. It's not really a prison. It's actually just a holding place because it's the 19th century. And I want to know what Charles is going to do with this knowledge that he has. Is he going to what is he going to do? And I want to know what people out there who are lurking are going to be doing.
Valid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
And
Fantastic.
sorry. The big thing I really want to know, my big outstanding question, is which person Nugget will take on next. Another old person who's irritating and annoying, or a younger person who's irritating and annoying? I want to know which, I just want to know.
Wonderful. Did you give love? I was doing other things.
That was my love to everybody, basically.
Oh,
Everybody was
okay.
so good.
Well,
But let's just highlight the big love though.
okay.
Youth-size speech. Come on.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Come on. Right? Come on. Also, come on. Also, Nuggets, suspicion at the tea, delicious, very much so. Also, Roland suffering in prison, excellent. And Violet's walking away, just like walking away.
Ran away.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't deal with it. Speaking of couldn't deal, we're gonna go to Nuggetosaurus. We're gonna do the same little thing that we did earlier. Just wild, just jumping around tonight. How are you? How was tonight?
I'm doing great. This is I said it before we started streaming, but this is the best birthday present I could ask for. My birthday's in an hour now. Yeah, in an hour for me. But this was an absolute blast. I am Nuggetosaurus. You can find me here on Mondays and Tuesdays. We actually just had our session 0 for our Monday game, which is starting next week, I believe.
Yeah,
And
I gotta make an overlay.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Very, very excited for the character I'm going to be playing.
Same.
You can find me here on Wednesdays, obviously playing this amazing game, as well as the occasional Saturday when we play our Aliens campaign. My favorite part, I have to agree with Trooper, was just Yutsai's speech. Like that was okay. Did you like write that out or was that on the spot? That was fucking amazing.
And I just started to talk.
That was
It was amazing.
so freaking good. So good. And then my second favorite part was the whole Violet noticing Roland and like you died and then running away and just I saw the scene in my head and it was just chef's kiss. I loved it. And then what I'm most excited for, I think I'm most excited for Roland's trial, or excuse me, Captain James's trial. I have some ideas about things.
So excited about that.
Same though.
I have some ideas. I have some things that I might be planning, and I'm ready to I'm ready to use my fuck it tag. Just so
so good. So good.
Wonderful. Someone who should have a fuck it tag. Simon, how are you? How was your night?
Hi. I'm very good. There's a kitten on.
It's Nugget.
I'll start out with my love. And to echo Nugget as well, it goes to Yutsai.
Yeah.
For that monologue. Like, I too was fairly certain you had written it. So yeah, congratulations. It's awesome. You're awesome. And that was a big like a standout moment. That I don't usually shout we should clip it. I don't clip shit on my own stuff anyway. So yeah. But yeah, that was my love for today. The thing I expect the most, or the questions I want to have answered, there's a lot of things I'm looking forward to, but it depends. I'm looking forward to the fallout. Yeah. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to say like, oh, I'm hoping for this, or I'm expecting this, or whatever. I just want to see. I want to sit back and I want to see what happens. And then otherwise, as for me, you can find me. So we're Wednesday. Saturday we should have Scion. I've been saying that for a couple of weeks, but for a couple of weeks we've been having last minute issues with this and that as it happens. And we also have, it's summer, it's July, the people have plans, so that happens. And then after this Saturday, it will be next week here, because there will be new stuff coming on to Wandering DM, Wandering Society in August after Gen Con. And so starting August 8th, we're going to have 2 new shows on the channel, weekly shows, both horror. And Yutsai is going to be in one of it, and I can't wait for that to pop up. Then, if you've missed it, the VODs for Haunted West and Harlem Unbound are on the Darker You Studios YouTube page, which you should go and check out. The next part of our serials will happen in October, basically, I believe late October. So the last 2 weeks of October. And then I had another thing that I wanted to say. I lost it. If you're at Gen Con, I'll be working the con. If you want to come see me, I'll be demoing our both our Vampire the Masquerade chapters game and also Werewolf the Apocalypse. So if you want to take a look at Werewolf the Apocalypse, Retaliation is the name of the game. We'll have a prototype live over there, as well as another surprise I'm not allowed to talk about.
Ooh, surprises, surprises. Someone who's full of surprises is Yutsai. How are you?
Me. Hey everyone. I'm doing well. Fun game. You can find me at my Twitter thing, just below my face right here. This is really the only stream I'm doing, but as our good captain said, I will be starting another project with him very shortly, it looks like. Favorite moments of today and things I'm looking forward to. Well, what I'm looking forward to is, as Simon very succinctly put it, the fallout. I mean, we've been having so much fun stacking the Jenga bricks up that we may not be ready for the crash. We'll see what pieces remain afterwards. But as for love for the session, I mean, two moments really stood out to me. One is the subtlety of two people being very cautious but trying to be friendly, both Hattie and Violet.
Yeah.
It's always fun. Like it's not like a life or death scene or like extreme violence or murder, but like it's that kind of like trepidation that just kind of encapsulates real life very well. And we can't forget the captain's willingness to, it sounds like that'll make my life a living hell. Sure, let's make it happen. But I think, honestly, what I'm looking forward to the most is that so very vague scene that Hattie did at the very end.
Oh,
I
know.
have a hard time keeping secrets. I want to talk about things. I want to talk about possibilities, but just that one scene, the one remark to the one person, it could be so many things, both good and bad.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to what that could be, or what that already has been decided according to Hattie.
Could I say something?
No. Yes, you can say.
This is a thing that Nugget said. And I just want to repeat what she said last session. And it was a letter to Charles from who we now know was his actual father. And it was this. This is what Nugget wrote. This is what she said. When your father did those horrible things that he did, he was my best friend. I thought he was upstanding. I wanted to bring you into the family. Things were difficult back at that time. I keep seeing your father's face in the window and the doorway. I've never blamed you for your father's actions.
Those are things that I said. I do remember that.
Yeah.
It's weird that the words just line up so well.
Right?
Mhm.
And I was like, he wanted to bring you to the family. Maxie wanted you to marry his daughter because you were his son.
That's what we assumed.
That's what we assumed.
I know. It's so good.
This game is wild.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, but those two dads did not get along very well. But like, because like, we're kind of going for the big long sweep of like deep family problems. I'm so excited.
I need some hard tea.
I'm just wondering if y'all are gonna ever tell me that Charles is my half brother.
I don't know.
You got some feelings to sort out, given what you.
You got shit going on.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go. That's my segue. Hey, I got shit going on. Favorite moments from tonight. I really loved Hattie and Violet's visitation, specifically the look on Nugget's face whenever I would say something about like how much I trust you as a friend, and how like I know I can confide this in you, and like how I'm just at such a loss to do. What would I do without you if you weren't my friend?
Met T
to help me through these times, like. the one bright spot in my life over these past several months. You know, just that kind of thing. I loved just the look on your face. It brings me so much joy. Yeah, anyways, I just basked in that for a little bit. I also loved just the conversation between the Doctor and Charles. That was exciting. That was a fun revelation. Captain John and Violet having their brief conversation outside of the Doctor's office where he's like, I'm not telling you, but I'm hoping you pick up on this. Like, that was just, it was so good. And
Very
I'm
true
just,
love conquers all.
yeah, I'm very excited. What I'm most looking forward to, I have questions about or excited about, are y'all gonna tell Violet that Charles is her half-brother?
Nah.
Well, let's let that detail fade. It's not super
Yeah.
important.
No one needs to know. It'll be fine. It's never gonna come out eventually. Of course not. People don't talk in this town, and you know it's not like she'd rather hear it from someone she trusts than some randos in town. It's okay. I'm
Well,
just
look,
stating the reasons
nobody-
why he told Hattie, but it's fine.
But no one could tell her because she was locked in a tower
This is true. I did do that to myself. I
by her sketchy husband. I mean, I'm just saying.
did. I
To
didn't
be
expect
fair-
her to die.
Weren't you in the other room when I shouted that I wasn't related to Hattie? So
Yes.
at the very least, you know I'm not like you.
Yeah, but your
I may
dad
be a
like
bastard.
totally got around. I just assume
Oh.
that maybe there was something like I don't know. I also
True,
had other
true.
things in my mind, like Hattie's health, Hattie's immediate. The fact that she was poisoned at my house, that's very distressing. Am I next? Like,
Yeah.
who was that poison intended for? Because I'm the one who served that tea, and I didn't know
Yeah.
anything about it. Was it the
That
teacups?
looks real
Did I
bad,
just
huh?
happened to pick up the wrong teacup? I don't know. It was probably the cream that was poisoned, if we think about it, because I didn't put sugar cream in mine. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
but she doesn't.
Mhm.
She's not an
Mhm.
assassin. She
Mhm.
doesn't think like that. So
That,
that's
I mean,
my
that's what she's
questions.
telling people, that she's not an assassin. Yeah.
She's not though. I've played plenty of them, and
Well,
look, I
I
wouldn't have gotten caught like that if I was an assassin. That's all I'm saying.
Think about it though. We've said in the past that Violet, when she's being polite, she puts like cream and sugar in her tea. They don't know
Mhm.
that she doesn't take it with
Yeah.
it, so
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it makes
true.
sense.
It
It's true.
does. It does make sense, and that was part of the thing was that we wouldn't know who it was intended for, and it just
That's
happened
right.
to be Hattie. So
Yep.
that's a big question, especially
Yep.
since I got locked up afterwards.
Yeah.
That was really interesting, really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are my questions. But you can find me online at Left of Lindy, eagerly awaiting this next game. But on Mondays, we do start our new Monday night campaign. Mondays in Exandria, the new batch. We're all new characters. I am super excited about my new character, who is hopefully going to be a cinnamon roll. I never know until I get into their shoes, so it could just go anyway. But I'm aiming for precious cinnamon roll. We'll see how that goes. And Nugget's character is very exciting as well, and I'm just so excited to see what everyone else comes up with because it's gonna be so good. And then on Tuesday night, it's not a new campaign, so to speak, because we have Ghosts of Saltmarsh starting in the second half of August. But it is going to be a high level tier 3, level 14, 15, 4-shot, 5-shot, where there's going to be some very exciting things happening in it, and it will tie in to the grand overarching scheme of my campaigns. So tune in for that. That'll be a lot of fun. I've also been playing a lot with Dungeon Alchemist to make the maps, so that'll be sweet. It's a pretty neat program. I'm not like telling you all to
Sponsored yet?
buy it. We're not sponsored. I just think it's cool, and I've been obsessed with it. So that's all. But thank you all so much for watching. We'll be back next Wednesday, and until next time.
Hey,
Have
guess
fun.
what?
What?
Guess what?
What?
You know what's gonna happen next in the next cycle?
Drama.
One of the novel chapters is gonna be the trial. Like, you know that, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be
yeah, yeah,
exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh. But until next time, have fun and play games.